Hey, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the free-for-all
Day two. The Tuies.
2016 Video Game Awards.
I feel rested.
Do you?
I feel rested and refreshed.
I wish
That's
that we
weird
had
because you're wearing the
changed
same
clothing.
ass shit.
No.
Same ass
You
shit.
can rest in the
No.
same clothes.
No,
Obviously,
we're not.
look how wrinkled your shirt is. You
It
sloppy
was
bitch.
at the bottom of a clean clothes pile.
Oh man, I'm
Well,
so
the
happy
clean
you
clothes
leaned
pile,
into that.
it never gets put away.
Oh, we do that. I mean, I have a wife, so like she
I
tends.
don't.
Hey, when I was single, no, I totally didn't put away my clean clothes. It just stayed a constant clean pile.
Yep.
But no, yeah, now like clothes get put away. And then I had a baby, and now clothes don't get put away as often.
You need to invest in wrinkle-free material.
I do. That would be a wise choice.
That's Evan and Chuck and
Hello.
Trey, and I'm Josh.
Hello.
And
What's
we're
up?
getting right the fuck into this because we got a lot to talk
Let's
about.
get
in here with
started.
Day 2.
Let's get stupid.
Let's do that.
You got something that we should get?
Let's get.
Okay.
Let's. Okay. Let's talk about the best hero of 2016.
Okay.
For the nominees are Nathan Drake from Uncharted 4, Elena Fisher from Uncharted 4, Alex Hunter from
God
FIFA
damn it.
17, every bro broing out in Broforce,
That's fair.
From Broforce.
Marcus Holloway from Watch Dogs 2, Henry from Firewatch, Delilah from Firewatch, Yarny from Unravel, Batman from the Telltale's Batman, Jack Joyce from Quantum Break, The Blob from Inside, Emily Caldwell from...
Caldwin.
Is it
Caldwin.
Caldwin?
Caldwin. Sorry, that was my fault.
Okay. No, it was on there as Win. I
Caldwell
corrected
Bankers.
myself. From Dishonored 2, Corvo from Dishonored 2, Alex from Oxenfree, King Graham from King's Quest, and BT from Titanfall 2.
Hang on, I got one more.
And
No adding, Chuck!
No, I just
And-
forgot about Evan's backing me on this.
Oh, this is bullshit.
yeah, I am back here. I'm 100% behind him.
There was such...
Ruben from Minecraft.
Yeah, Ruben.
You guys...
No.
You guys were so clear on the
No, I said we did.
additions.
No, I said we didn't need to come in just starting the list today.
That's the only one we've done, Josh, in 2 whole days.
You guys are going to make
2
me
days.
break my rule about scrolling up and find that conversation.
You're
on
not
Xbox.
gonna do
You're not going to do that.
No.
No.
Also, can we all just agree that the Blob wins this and then
No.
fight for 2 and 3?
No, we can't, as a matter of fact.
I mean, I don't know who else is a bigger hero than the Blob. He's got so many arms and legs.
So who we cutting?
Yeah, inspirational speeches like that deserve the win.
Yeah, he's just like,
And then everyone goes out and they're better. They're the better version
he
of
would
themselves.
have won 2016 for sure.
Alex Hunter,
Fine.
Who's
He's
Al-
my hero.
Who's Alex Hunter?
the
He's
character
the guy
from
the
FIFA.
Journey in FIFA.
Yeah, cut that bitch.
He's a very well done character. You actually like
It's not best character, it's best hero.
Well, he's a character and a hero. He's my goddamn hero, and he's England's hero when they win the World Cup in 2 more years.
I thought you liked Germany.
I do want Germany to win again.
God, you are a contradiction.
This
With
is a
legs.
video game discussion.
You're the Blob from inside, but just contradiction.
So,
Went perfectly.
cut Ruben.
What?
Oh, come on. From this list.
I mean, he's pretty awesome. Like, he's a legit hero. He saves you.
All right, then cut Emily.
Ooh. What?
Or Corvo. Let's cut Corvo. You're not going to get both Dishonored characters on here.
You're not gonna get any of them.
Unless you would like Corvo over Emily.
What do you think, Evan? I'll lean Emily.
In which order
I
would you
started
In
like to
this
cut
case,
both those
because
characters?
everyone played with Emily if they only played once.
Yeah, that's fair. So you're all right with Corvo?
Yes, I'm okay with Corvo being
Okay.
cut.
Yeah, let's get the duplicates out first. Elena clearly is not gonna beat out Nathan Drake if we have an
No.
character.
Nope.
And Henry or Delilah?
I don't think either of them are heroes.
Really?
I guess kind of, but
I mean, like I think you're taking hero a little bit too literally. Well, we may also be too loose with it. I feel like
yeah,
it's
if we're,
not.
let's rename it character if we're not going to.
Well, I mean, they are definitely the protagonists of that story. Whether there is something that needs to be saved in any way, they're definitely the
No.
hero of the story.
Josh is correct.
That
It's
never
really
has happened
best
before.
hero is more.
I don't know how to react to that statement.
More. Me neither, really. Somebody timestamp that. No, it's more.
Show title.
It's more protagonist, but nobody cares about fucking hero is a 2-syllable word.
We can't have
No.
more than 2 syllables on this
Nope.
podcast.
I mean, that's double the fucking syllables. I had to count it out. You guys didn't see that, but I did.
Protagonist.
Yeah, every time your mouth opens, that's a new syllable. So
Four.
protagonist.
I'm a big boy today.
Yeah.
Lane would be so proud of you.
I don't give a shit.
You're just pissed because he knows about good singing.
Whoa. We're not getting into this today, are we?
Did we cut Ruben?
Huh?
No.
If you cut Reuben, he will be delicious bacon.
Okay.
It happens.
Heroic
That-
bacon.
that is a pretty
it
fair.
does happen.
It happens, and it made me stop playing the game.
No, we'll talk about that for best moment.
Yarny?
I
Yarny,
agree.
no, I love Yarny.
I mean, I love him too.
I loved the presentation in which we saw the real Yarny. I mean, the character itself, he's all right.
Oh man, I actually really like him.
Wait.
I
Did we
got
decide
Batman
on
for
on between Henry and Delilah?
Oh, we did not.
no.
We just argued that they're heroes and then moved the fuck on.
Who do you vote for out of that?
Henry, I would vote for.
I'm actually on the side of Delilah.
I am too.
She talks you through almost every crisis that you
Also,
go
probably
through.
the best narrative performance in the year.
I think they're close.
It's tied as
Let's
far
do
as the
that.
performances go. Dude.
Yeah.
They were
But-
I don't know. We're
incredible.
talking about the character specifically. I mean, I think she is a more intriguing character in my opinion. The backstory of Henry definitely helps a lot, but I actually would go Delilah myself.
I in terms, if we were actually talking hero again, I would say Delilah.
correct.
So that getting rid of the duplicates, we've got
The
Nathan
dupes.
Drake. It still has Alex Hunter, the real hero here.
No, just wait a second.
God,
Just wait.
God.
The Bros.
Which that's duplicate.
What?
They're great, but come on.
William Wallace, bro.
It's
I
just
can't
great
remember what his
names is all it is.
Will Bro Wallace. What's his name?
Yeah.
So
We
we can
just
cut
choose
Bro
him?
Force?
Double Bro 7.
I
yes.
mean, come on.
While
they're
they're talking, I am cutting it.
great. Don't you dare!
No, it needs to be cut.
Damn it, Evan. Once, just be on my side.
I've been on your side.
You've never been on my
He's
side.
on your right side. He's sitting right there.
See?
Dummy. God.
He's really on the opposite of my left side, so he's really not.
That was funny.
Thank you.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for as much as that story did in terms of changing the narrative around Batman, he was still basically Batman. He had some struggles to go through.
Batman's a basic bitch.
He really is. We got Jack Joyce.
I like Jack. I don't guess there's anything that super sets him out, though.
I mean, he's, again, the
The
lesser,
lesser
Ashmore,
Ashmore.
so he gets
That
like
did
5
hurt.
points taken away.
If we're doing that, though, Marcus Holloway.
Yeah, that's fair. I really like him, but I will totally admit there's no chance he's going to be. In the
He
top
has more
3.
personality than
So much
Watch
more
Dogs
personality. God, that game is really good. I know you guys didn't like the characters, but once you actually get to know each of them, I think it does a very good job. Plus, the homeless hippie dude from the first one shows up
T-Bone?
halfway through. Yeah,
I like T-Bone.
He's in some DLC I never played for the first
That
Watch
DLC
Dogs.
is actually good.
from what I hear, it is.
I own
yeah,
it, so one day maybe.
Marcus Holloway's done. We've got again, it's not it's not updating for me.
You've got Nathan Drake,
Thank you.
Delilah, Yarny, The Blob, Emily Caldwin, Alex, King Graham, BT, and Ruben.
Talk to me about King Graham.
No,
It's Christopher Lloyd.
yeah,
It's
he's
the-
probably my winner. Actually.
It's the prototypical hero of a fairy tale story.
And they play it up so well. It's the voice acting's well, the writing's well done.
It's so many puns.
I really
Trey.
want to.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
well.
would.
Okay.
It is all the puns.
Say no more.
If you die, it's a pun. They have like a pun joke.
put a star next to that for now. Yeah.
I need to play that shit.
It's a magical game.
I know we joke about the Blob, but come on.
Yeah, no, we can cut the ball.
Yeah, the blob could be cut.
The Blob can't be cut. We can remove him from the list.
All right, fine. Let's remove him from the list. But yes,
He's
he cannot.
impenetrable.
Oxenfree is more probably about
The
the group than
story
just
and-
Alex.
yeah.
Alex is the central character, and everything kind of revolves around her. But
She's no Sam from
it's a group.
last year. Why can't I remember the name of it now?
because that
Life
game
is
sucks.
strange.
Thank you.
Fuck you. I still.
Shaka
Life,
I love
life
it
is
so much.
garbage. That's what it is.
I can't wait for the second one of that because
It's
they're
not
still
gonna
making
happen.
it.
It's not gonna
I don't get it, man. I almost don't want another one.
You shouldn't.
I almost don't either.
A, because that game wasn't very good, but B, like the story was so
Sneaky little
like
bitch.
there
Number
was
6 all time.
All-time what?
My favorite games.
This guy knows.
You need to play more games.
It's number 6.
Is
Anyway, that's
Virginia
last
number 1? You tasteless
No.
son of a bitch.
It's 2, you dick. The Buffalo wasn't in enough.
Oh, the Ori is
Oh,
number
Buffalo
5.
chicken sounds
It's my
awesome.
favorite game.
All right, I know we excuse me, we debated Delilah and Henry, but I think Delilah can also come off this list.
Ooh, I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet.
Nathan Drake, by the same account as the other 2 that we just cut. We got to cut something.
Yeah.
That sucks to remove.
I'll be
Ruben.
all right with removing Ruben. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Is there bacon?
Make a case for BT.
Oh, BT's awesome. There's so much personality to him.
Especially considering he's this robot, and half the time you're inside of him.
It's like Eddie Lacy
Go
and Josh.
on.
Yeah, Josh, just think about how much you like Eddie Lacy. And it's basically the same thing.
He is a fat piece of shit.
Go on though.
No, yeah, it's just basically like this this giant mech, which you would think would just be this delivery mechanism for you like blowing up a bunch of shit.
Mechanism.
Yeah.
Well
which he
done.
is. But he also, despite being a character you wouldn't normally attribute any kind of emotion to, like you grow to love that character. And again, spoilers all day long today.
No, we don't do that anymore.
Oh yeah, we do, because PT fucking dies
When he dies, like it's devastating.
Oh no.
he dies twice technically. The first time that saves
You can't die twice.
they save his consciousness, but
James Bond taught us you
the first
only live
time-
once.
the first time he's like hanging up.
That's not that title.
He's hanging up and you're laying on the ground and this dude's like talking shit to you, and then he just walks away and just puts this giant rifle like literally into like the spot where normally you would sit in BT and just lights that
It's
fucker
so
up.
purposely
And I was
nonchalant,
like,
and you just go,
I woke Brittany up. I was like, oh shit! Like,
No.
yes, I was legitimately upset. And then at the end of the game, he does basically the same thing, but he like sacrifices himself. He literally is like, first priority, like save the pilot, and he pulls you out and like throws you, very much
because
like
you
Eddie
start
Lacy.
out, he's tethered
And-
to like your mentor, and at the very beginning of the game, when
Yeah.
your mentor dies, like he's handed to you, and he feels responsible, but you don't have a relationship, and you legit build a relationship with the robot throughout the thing. He's in my top 3.
Okay. So
He's probably in
it
mine
sounds
too.
like King Graham and BT tend to be top 2 so far, like kind of locked in.
You can probably cut Yarny looking at this list.
I feel like we
guess.
should cut Yanni.
Yeah, I like Yarny a lot, but I don't think he hangs.
I
with-
think he's charming as fuck.
God, it's awesome.
Very cute, and when he starts getting like really thin because you run out of yarn, it's pretty devastating. But
Emily Caldwell. I know you guys like that game a lot.
I
Is
was
that
gonna say,
character
as a
very
character-
strong?
I'm okay with cutting.
Okay, I was saying I don't know enough to.
so we're down to
What I
BT,
played, you didn't really have any interaction with her.
BT, Christopher Lloyd, Delilah, and Nathan Drake.
Oh, I think that's an easy cut.
You cut
Nathan
Nathan
Drake?
Drake? Really?
Yeah, I would cut. Nathan
I
Drake.
like Nathan Drake, but I mean, I think
I don't know. I think there was more. I mean, I don't want to cut Delilah either, but I think there was more character development for Nathan Drake in this game than there has been in any other game previously. I think they did a very good job in selling his obsession and how damaging that can be to his regular life.
and I don't disagree with that.
I feel the showing his youth stuff in 3
Was
was
more effective.
Yeah,
Really?
Oh, I hated.
I
that
think
part.
this story did a great thing was more about family.
Man, I loved the going through the mansion in this one in 4, like with Sam as a kid. I also think Sam probably could have been on this list over Nathan. in my opinion.
He maybe because he was new, but I
Or
liked
so.
him
Sully.
better.
They also did such a good job of working in a character that you never knew about before, and so many times that comes off as very terribly done.
Oh, it
But
was
they
very
shoehorned
well
in.
done.
Great.
That is true.
They did a great job of not shoehorning him in, but that's fine. If we get down to Delilah, King Graham, and BT as the 3,
I would be okay with that 3. Chuck.
Actually, I think I'm kind of with Josh on Drake.
yeah, that would be my preference.
Like all the out of all the Uncharted, I think that he was more a hero here than he has typically been. Like he's doing everything to save his brother, and typically, like it starts off with him.
So many moments with him and Elena.
Yeah, I mean, as far as hero is concerned, in the prior games, it starts off with him essentially, grave robbing, what Indiana Jones kind of does. But in this one, there are moments like that, but they're kind of you know.
Yeah,
And-
shitty
once you-
husband.
Yeah,
once you, but
that's
yeah,
true.
Like, once you
That's
get
true.
into the actual adventure and
Until
like,
he realizes, like, there's that very clear moment in the jungle, and it all like
Like,
kinda
they sold the
clicks.
struggle of that
Jesus
really
magically
well.
finds him in the jungle.
That has nothing to do with how heroic
But
he is.
they did like they sold the drama of that and the struggle of the
The
two
city
of them
that no
so
one could
well.
find. She not only finds it and finds
Maybe he
him.
had a GPS on him. Come
He
on,
did
man.
have a cellular telephone.
And
He
a
has a-
walkie-talkie.
and a chip in his brain.
Yeah,
she's
thanks, Obama.
She's a very protective wife. So here's a thing to throw out. What if we cut Nathan and Delilah and put Sam on this list?
No, fuck that.
Yeah?
Sam is on my list for villains.
Interesting.
I don't know if he's a true.
I
villain,
think
though.
he
He
gets
is the
redeemed.
cause of all the strife in that
He
game.
is.
But
to
he
be
gets
fair.
redeemed solidly. I
He
mean,
does, but he also betrays
I
the
mean,
fuck
Vader-
out of his brother
Vader
for
is-
half
Vader's a
of the game.
Can we
villain.
give
and he
him
gets
like the
redeemed.
Chris Jericho honorary both award because he's really good as both a hero and a villain?
Drink it in, man.
You're
Chris
on the
Jericho's not
list.
good at anything
God, somebody just did
except being a tool.
Fuck you.
He's
Who,
so
me?
good.
You know what?
You're on the list.
You just made you son of a bitch.
That's fine then. I'm cool with Nathan Drake. I'm not that attached to Delilah. I
I'm
think
not
her
either.
performance was just
I'll
really
take
Her
strong.
performance was stellar, but yeah, maybe I'm attaching to the performance more than the character. I'm fine.
So
I'm
out
really
of-
happy with that.
Out of Drake, BT, and King Graham,
I really want to play King's Quest.
my vote is King Graham.
It's King Graham for me.
He's the-
My vote's
Solidly.
BT.
He's a,
but
he's
and
a
mine is probably
quintessential
Drake, so
hero.
It's the only one I've
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like
This
it's
stuff we were
everything
talking-
about a storybook, like a something you would read your kid if you liked them.
And-
So that the hero would be, is King Graham in all of those stories, and it
And-
goes throughout his life in certain spots.
That's
which
a
is
good thing
so
because you
awesome.
see his whole life.
Yeah, the stuff you were talking about him like having trouble remembering toward the end, and so like
Yeah, it was rough.
that's
It's
really fucking.
devastating.
I really want to play that.
because
Okay.
it's the same level as the first chapter, but there's like these big whited out pieces that he just can't fucking remember
yeah,
anymore. It's
that's a
tough.
solid. I'm way okay with him winning. I
Cool.
like that's probably actually number one of the games I wish I could have played this year.
If I hadn't played that, though, it totally would have been BT. BT was a surprise character for me of
Yeah.
the year, just because he had.
I think
he-
it's pretty
he had character.
impressive.
and
that
I
he's on the
knew
fucking
going in
list.
that he was supposed to be this like surprisingly great character, and it still hooked me. So
Mhm.
So for best character, best hero, sorry, it is going to King Graham from King's Quest with Nathan Drake and BT from Titanfall 2 as the runners up. Moving on to best villain, we've got Rafe from Uncharted 4. It's bad that I couldn't remember his last name. Sam from Uncharted 4. I'm not reading that whole thing. Harvey Dent from Telltale's Batman. Tom from the Turing Test. Paul Serene from Quantum Break. The Ford Mustang from Forza Horizon 3.
Oh, God, it worked
Delilah
again.
Caldwin, 2 Delilahs this year from, I'm assuming that's Dishonored.
Yeah.
Exploration from, you guys are dicks. Exploration from No Man's Sky. The Lightning Storms from Gears of War. What the fuck, guys?
that's legit.
The
Those things are
developers
evil.
from Bound. Manny from King's Quest and Olivia Pierce from Doom. All right, you guys.
Those dogs from Inside. That's
Those
legit.
things were evil.
They were horrifying.
I don't
They
see the
ripped
dogs
you
from inside.
apart.
I just added it.
Yeah, it's not on yours yet.
Okay.
It cracks me up, man. It's like just watching Decades in action.
I
You
mean,
don't,
you're
you don't
like-
get to see it.
I'm not even touching the phone. It's just not
Oh,
updating.
I'm aware that you're not touching the phone. It's already been infected.
Once you've been inside it, Josh, it can't go back.
I am for cutting Sam from this list. I think he fits in both molds,
Ooh.
but I don't think he's solidly in either.
He almost wrecked a marriage by lying to his brother about what he needed
If
to
someone
have
wrecked
done.
my marriage with Elena, I would be pissed.
Oh, she's awesome.
She is great. Remember when people thought Chloe was better? They're
I still
fucking
do.
Wrong.
No, fuck you, man.
Right?
Elena's
You
the
and Rob.
best.
Chloe's hotter.
She is hotter, but she's not a better wife.
I would
I already
argue
have
she's
a
not
wife.
hotter.
I'm going purely
I also
on
would argue
looks.
she's not
On
hotter.
looks. I like that innocent look where they can also kind of be just like a Hellcat in a sack.
Would Nadine fit this list?
Nadine.
You couldn't remember?
Nadine?
The black girl from Uncharted 4.
No.
Okay. I thought she was actually a really cool character, and I'm excited to play.
I mean, she is a villain.
I'm
I just don't
excited to
think
see
she's
how
the
that
best
DLC
villain.
works out with her and Chloe. But I actually,
I
I
actually
would,
think Rafe could get cut from this list before Sam.
I
think we could.
loved Rafe.
I liked him all right, but he was
Let's
pretty
get rid of one of the Uncharted. though.
stereotypical.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
would keep Rafe over Sam.
I'm keeping Sam then, if I have to pick.
I mean, it's definitely going to be one. I would also keep Sam.
Yeah, it's Sam for me.
All right. Harvey Dent, I don't want to leave yet. Tom. I love Tom.
He was good, but he's not gonna make.
It's
top
less.
3.
It's more menacing and less villainous until the very, very end.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was just his pure logic base because he's right
Yeah,
the whole time. He's right.
man, that game is cool. I really like that game.
It's
but
a
yeah,
top 15 game for me.
it's in my top 10. Yeah, we can cut Tom though.
I'm going to nominate cutting Paul Serene from this list.
Oh man, Paul was awesome.
He was all right. I didn't think he was that great of a villain.
He
I
looks.
thought-
It's one of the
I
weaker
thought
parts of the game for me.
He
Really?
looks like he
Man,
touches
I thought he was
kids.
good.
I don't want to cut him yet. Let's
Okay.
let's keep moving. Let's keep
I would put a
moving.
pin in that though, because I also would probably cut him. We can't cut the Ford Mustang.
Yeah, that wins this category.
Oh, it fucking does. Because you know why? The developers from Bound.
All right.
I'd be more on board with leaving Exploration from No Man's Sky on this list. It was
Can
an
we get
enemy to
all-
my soul.
Can we cut the jokes now?
I wasn't joking.
I know you weren't, but we need to cut that still.
Olivia Pierce from Doom.
Yeah.
She's a pure evil, and she turns into a giant spider demon. It is horrifying.
Oh
was
man,
gonna say, I don't know anything
spoilers.
about her.
Damn it. That sounds awesome though.
It's awesome.
It does
and
sound
it's
cool.
Hard.
God, I mean, I
Are
wish
you
I-
just like the entire time like, oh
You're like,
shit?
oh, shit, she is awful. You have a large rat.
Manny from King's Quest.
I mean, every good storybook needs a villain. I don't know if he deserves to be in the 3.
I will go ahead and say
perchance.
this is the first I've heard that name, and we've talked about King's Quest a lot.
He's the villain for everyone, but not even every episode is there like a direct conflict with him.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the what was
Three.
the 3?
and I don't think
Or
that's
second, or the second
necessarily a
one.
disqualifying factor because
Yeah,
I mean
he's the
sometimes less is
yeah, he
more.
was the reason you were in prison in there.
Down in the dungeons.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I
the
guess
troll.
that's in the. I guess that.
dungeons.
Because he's a
How do you see? Having a whole mold here.
All right, I did exactly what I wanted it to.
Yeah,
cut
we-
him.
Everybody was
Cut
in except
Manny.
for Trey.
yeah. We can cut Manny.
Trey looked confused as
I
shit.
was caught off guard. I'm not gonna lie.
You kind of look scared.
All right,
You're very aggressive with your singing.
the lightning storm.
Oh man,
It's pretty intense.
it's the best, and especially
Yeah,
like
you were treating that one like a joke. I was like, it was pretty awful.
But I mean, it's not a villain.
yeah, it is. You have to
It's an
like
antagonist.
Is it sentient?
No, it doesn't have to be sentient.
think outside the goddamn box, Josh.
I live outside the goddamn box. I
No,
forgot
you
the box
don't.
ever existed.
You were
Did you
inside the
say
Taco
you're
Bell
You
box.
just live in a. You,
No, I'm outside the box. The box, yeah, I'm homeless. The box would be my home.
I think the lightning storms might actually be in here.
God damn it, you guys.
Dude, it's awesome. Not only is it A, terrifying, B, it shows up at the worst fucking times, and then C, you can't aim while it's going on. You have to, like, move the trajectory around all over the place.
I don't think it's top 3, but I do agree that it is a.
Let's put a pin in it.
I would
Delilah
like to
Caldwell.
nominate-
Delilah Caldwell needs to get cut.
okay.
Yeah, she's only in it like a little bit, but she's the reason it's all happening. But you only go against her like 3 times.
I know that
And the
they
final
end up-
battle was easy. It really was.
Go ahead.
Use doppelganger a lot of.
I just started, like, just shooting shit and time freezing things.
I did time freeze and then put out like a lot of doppelgangers.
God, that game's good.
So I know that they end up redeeming themselves toward the end, but rather than the dogs, I would argue the little fucking demon girls that pull you into the water.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that thing.
would be more. Even though technically it seems like she helps you toward the
No,
end.
the dogs are still worse.
Really? I
They don't.
disagree.
They've been trying to help you the entire time.
That shit was the
What-
most terrifying thing in every video
I
game. of
had
the
a
year.
text from my wife about my child. So what were you talking about?
The girls that pull
The
you
mermaid
into the water.
things.
Jesus Christ, they're terrifying.
Right?
But they also, it turns
They're
out
heroes.
that they're
yeah,
never
they're
a
not,
villain.
They're not trying to hurt you though.
They haven't been the entire time, even though you have to restart your game.
Well, they're villains then for sucking at their job because they killed me so many times before they got me to the right fucking spot.
Oh,
Did you really die a lot from those mermaid things?
No, but it was terrifying.
Okay.
I thought I was going to.
God, those
Why
dogs
Why are you
though.
lying?
Every time
I lie to fucking win.
every time those dogs,
to
like
know.
I heard,
Like Eddie
like
Guerrero, I
"Arr,
lied,
arr,"
cheat,
I'm
I
like,
steal.
oh shit,
Run,
Yep.
run.
run, go.
That was the
climb
most
that
anxious
fence.
I was
Okay,
in
now
that
climb the
game.
fence again. Okay, now climb the
Oh,
fence
good.
again.
They're going back and forth.
Yeah.
I fucked around with that for a long time.
Inside's a good game.
It's a very
It's
good
a
game.
great game.
I wouldn't put it great, but it's a very good game, especially.
Why is
after
the Ford
my-
Mustang a villain outside of joking?
I don't know.
take it.
Okay.
Because
I was really trying to get it to like the top 4.
I think it's time to cut Paul Serene.
I would agree with that.
I don't have any backing here, so
He's okay.
He is okay,
the
but he's
performance
Lance
not.
Reddick
great.
might have been better though.
Which one?
Lance Reddick,
Who's that?
the black
The
guy.
black guy.
Oh yeah,
But
I mean, I love Aiden Gillen, and his performance is great because it always is. But
he's got kind of a stroke face going
he
on.
kind of looks like he touches kids.
I mean, he's a villain.
Littlefinger.
Oh, that makes it a worse name altogether.
That's fair. Okay, he got cut.
All right, so we're down to
5.
Sam, Nathan Drake, Lightning Storms, Olivia Pierce. Aside from turning into a giant spider demon, like, is she a good villain?
I haven't even seen her yet. I've heard her because she's like
yeah,
taped.
you hear her most
Okay.
of the time. Like you don't see her until the end.
Like
I mean,
a
that doesn't make
disembodied
her
voice
any.
thing,
That
or-
doesn't make her any less
No,
of a
no.
villain. She's just telling you why she's
Yeah,
like,
I'm just
unleashing
trying to,
hell upon Earth.
I'm just trying to gain a gauge
Mars,
of like
Mars,
what kind
right?
of a
Yeah.
character
Mars,
she
okay.
is all.
Mars and Hill.
Yeah, Mars. Okay.
She's
Mars?
she's a good villain and probably a
God,
better
I'm hungry.
she's a good villain and probably a better boss fight, which I think
That's
underrated
I think
these
that actually
days.
factors into this because boss fights. I mean,
Yeah,
are
Paul
terrible
Serene's
a lot of
boss
times.
fight. It was awful. It was the worst part
Dude,
of that.
it
game.
It's
was my
hard as
least favorite
balls.
moment of
I was
the
just
game.
like,
But not in a
what am
good
I
way.
supposed to do?
Yeah.
it's really hard.
And you don't know what the fuck to do. And
I
they've
mean,
got
I did,
all
but
these
it's still
stupid
hard.
enemies around that don't fucking do anything.
Not
aside-
immediately. It's
Man.
hard to figure out that you have to get way far away from that little ball, that like the light ball thing.
Can we
I
put
forgot how
the
much I hated
rave
that fight.
strobing lights into the fucking from the beginning of that game in the villains?
You're the
for me?
only one that saw them.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. I am for. So did we cut Paul Serene?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm a long
Okay, I
time
didn't
ago.
argue.
Did we cut lightning storms yet?
Nope.
Can we cut lightning storms?
Nope.
I would
say
cut Harvey Dent first.
I say we cut.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I say we cut Sam and the lightning storms and make that the 3.
You cut Sam and the lightning storms.
I'm getting one of those.
I just Sam is so he straddles the fence.
Vader gets
Quarters
redeemed in the end too, but he's still a villain.
3/4 of
Not
that
the best
game, he is trying to ruin your life so that he can get out of a debt.
Motherfuckers got to live.
He's a sleazeball.
He is a sleazeball. I would totally take. Like you guys have really sold me on Sam in a way that I did not going
Okay,
in. I did not
Then
think I
can
would.
we cut the dogs? Because I don't think we cut Harvey Dent. I actually think it's one of the better performances of like portrayals of that character.
That was surprising to me.
It was very
really
good.
was.
I'm okay with cutting the dogs.
okay.
Oh man, I'd rather cut lightning storms than the dogs.
We're cutting both.
I
Trey.
also think lightning storms should be cut.
Yeah.
Personally.
they're both going to have to bite it, I think.
Olivia Pierce isn't that cool. I want
She's
those dogs, man.
Fuck that bitch.
She's cool, but I will be okay with her not winning. But I do want her as a nominee.
I think Sam wins this.
I kind of do too.
I think Harvey Dent does myself, but that's just because I'm fundamentally on the other side of this argument. So
Yeah,
if it's the majority the other way, I understand.
Harvey Dent was really solid in that game. Don't get me wrong. Just
They
He's the
sold you
most
on
I've
the
ever
betrayal.
liked
Yeah.
Two-Face, though.
yeah.
It made him very relevant in a Batman story that Two-Face hasn't been relevant in a long time.
I haven't finished the game, but the fact that Harvey is out of the story now, based on where I'm at, I kind of don't want to finish. Like he is way more intriguing than Lady Arkham is, than Catwoman is in that game, than Riddler or not Riddler, Penguin was. Like I legitimately, he is the best part of that game.
Well, I'm going to be the only one and say Olivia Pierce is my number one, which basically abstains me. So
Yeah, it makes Sam.
The,
Sam is the winner.
I kind of think it's Sam too, man.
I mean, it
He
sounds like
tried to
and Trey-
get you divorced from Elena.
He's just like I think the difference is that Harvey Dent is like a very clear cut evil villain.
There's a lot of nuance with Sam, and
Yeah.
that is a testament to the
He's
writing
more
of
just
that game.
a dirtbag, like a sleazeball.
It's a testament to the writing of that game and the development of that character. But yeah, I mean,
Sam is a guy you can encounter in real life as a villain, whereas Harvey Dent is not.
do you not know a lot of half-burned schizophrenics out there?
I mean, I know two off the top of my
Right.
head.
I know
At
some
least
people are
4.
half burned, and I know some schizophrenics, but I've
They
never
never put those hands together? Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, Jam.
It's almost lunchtime, folks.
All right, so the best villain of
Wait, are we having
2016
jam for lunch?
Yeah,
I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on the table.
just a jam session.
Where?
Huh? Relax.
it's out on the street.
Let's let the heat.
Down on the corner. Sam from Uncharted, Sam Drake, is our best villain.
What a
It's a
surprise.
surprising one.
Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
is.
I'm
With-
happy
I'm
the
happy
first
that
time a
happened.
last-minute addition has ever won.
That is true. With Harvey Dent and Olivia Pierce both being the runners-up. Moving on to the best digital-only game, We've got The
Surpri-
Witness.
This is strong this year.
It
Yeah,
is.
It's going to get better and better
Every
every
year.
single
Yep.
year.
Yeah, it's just headed that way.
It's gonna get
Yeah.
heated here in a minute too.
Yes, it is. We've got The Witness, Firewatch, Unravel, Broforce, Bound, Inside, Stories: The Path of
Bound's
Destiny.
not on here.
You son of a bitch.
That was well played.
Super Hot, Abzu, Oxenfree, Hitman, King's Quest, and Virginia.
Jesus
Hitman has a
Christ.
digital release now. Do we still count it?
It didn't come out on.
2016.
Okay.
It didn't
I'm
come
just
out
asking.
until 2017.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. That's fine.
You meant a disc based.
Let me throw something out
Yeah.
here for
What did I say?
Hitman.
You
just
said
to
digital.
start off with
Sorry.
that. Hitman, there's probably 3 games that I rate. I know there's 3 games I rate higher on here as games, but when talking about digital, especially when at first we thought this was a shit show, what they were doing because no one understood the episodic release of what they were doing, it was perfect. I hope every Hitman game is always like this.
Sounds like it's gonna be because it's been
They-
really popular.
Yeah,
They-
got season 2 already planned.
They improved upon every episode because they legit took player feedback with every episode and made changes as the season went along. It was really fucking impressive.
Okay, well, hold on to that. Let's cut the obvious ones first,
Okay.
and then we can get into.
So Virginia's obviously not gonna make this.
Oh,
It is
No.
not gonna make this list.
Stories?
Stories is
Stories.
gonna get cut.
Abzu, I would imagine is gonna
Abzu's
get
gonna
cut.
get
Yeah,
cut.
Abzu deserved to
Broforce
be
is gonna
mentioned.
get cut.
And I think Broforce,
Unravel.
Unravel, everything else
It's a hard.
is not
cut.
an easy cut. I don't think.
You said
It's a
Broforce and Unravel.
Unravel, yeah. So we should have The Witness, Firewatch, Super Hot, Oxenfree, Hitman,
Inside.
King's Quest. Oh, Inside. Sorry, I overlooked
good.
that. And Inside, yes. Fuck.
That's
man.
7 games. Shit.
Yep.
Dang.
That's
That's a
longer
hard
than I
4
thought it was
cut.
going to be.
Yep.
Now, Hitman.
Yeah. Like I said, I like 3 games on here better than I like Hitman, but for digital release, I felt I needed to at least throw that argument out there.
That's fair. I mean,
It was
what they-
incredibly ballsy for
and-
them to do that, especially
and it
with an
turned out being
established.
intelligent as hell. Like when you listen to the podcast that we kind of owe our entire current format to when talking about Game of the Year, when you listen to Giant Bomb's interview during E3 of the IO9 developers, the feedback they took into account from each episode, like moving from one to the next, the way that they did that release schedule and how beneficial it became for them, it made that game relevant the entire year rather than just being something that came out at the beginning of the year, people liked a lot because
I
it was
played-
unexpected, and then let go of.
I actually wish that a lot more traditional games would come out this
Tomb
way.
Raider would be brilliant in this.
Tomb Raider would be perfect. As this. So would like Deus Ex and stuff like that. Things
If
that
they
would
just released,
be.
like a few, like one area to like go and find a treasure for.
And the
in
thing
Tomb
was
Raider
with
or something
Hitman,
like
they
that.
had 2 teams working on it constantly. One was always working on the next episode, and the other team was focused on giving you continuous new content for the current episode.
new
Things-
marks
things
and
like
stuff like
the,
that.
The like
Elus-
celebrity
Challenge.
Elusive
contracts
contracts
yeah, I
were
can't remember
awesome.
what those are called. I am all in on trying to play this game before season 2 and playing season 2 as
Now,
well.
Be
Yeah,
aware.
This is my biggest regret of
Beware,
2016.
it's hard, and like you
Yeah,
will
I've heard.
you'll die a lot, and it's frustrating. And if you don't manually save a lot, like you just start the whole fucking thing over. So like
Ooh.
it can be frustrating, but it's worth it.
I would stick a pin in that. I'm gonna make a crazy suggestion and say cut Firewatch.
I was actually literally about to say
It's
the same
not
thing.
going to be in my 3 either.
It is a great game.
It is a game that
It's
came,
the one that I like Firewatch more than Hitman, but for this purposes, I would put Hitman
Yeah.
above.
And I think Firewatch stands out from the performances. It's the gameplay wise. It's just another.
That is
sim.
that is fair.
King's Quest, how much I love that, didn't have a weak episode, but 2 episodes were clearly weaker than the other 3.
You guys have both said that it was like up one episode, down the next, up one.
The
down.
odd numbers of the episodes are all brilliant.
I will also say, by the way, that Firewatch did come out on disc on PS4
Oh, did it?
last year. It did.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that
Yeah.
easily.
That makes
Ineligible.
Me feel, that makes me feel
Technicalities for the win.
better in my heart. Were we talking about King's Quest? No,
Yeah.
I'm not cutting that yet.
Okay, I was gonna
Because
throw out the
that
one
was-
clause with it.
A struggle for that entire game. It took the entire year for that to eventually come out, and every single time we wanted it more and more and
It's
more.
fair. I wish they would advertise better because it was out for a month and a half in the final chapter before we knew
And
it.
the
I was like-
epilogue.
I was like, Chuck, it
I
came
know.
out in
I was like,
October.
oh shit! I knocked Kristen over. I pushed Doug out of the way. It was a shit show.
Oxenfree. cut?
It's a top 3 game of the year for me.
I mean, I
my
think we're all
feelings
gonna
about it, yeah.
enter in those categories. I just
Well, I think Super Hot has to go then.
I do think
I
Super
agree.
Hot
that's
has to
fine.
go.
That's fine.
That game is brilliant, by the way.
It's
And we haven't really
incredibly
talked about it
innovative.
yet yesterday or today, but like flat out, Super Hot is a brilliant game, and everybody who enjoys video games should play that game. It's fucking awesome. I didn't even finish it. I want to, but it's fucking great.
I went ahead and cut King's Quest.
Okay.
I just think that out of the ones that are left, it's going to be harder and harder to make.
So we
a
got The
call for.
Witness, Inside, Oxenfree, and Hitman, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
My 3 are the bottom 3.
Mine too, obviously.
Mine are The Witness, Inside, and I either have to abstain or choose a game that I haven't played. I just don't like Oxenfree myself personally.
I would still I don't know. Even having played all of Oxenfree and having played very, very little of Hitman, though I did play the introductory thing.
The training level or whatever.
Yeah, like the training level. And like I said, like just because of what that game did for AAA games being episodic,
For me,
downloadable
and for a
content.
franchise that we had, I mean, Absolution came out a couple years ago, but for the most part, people had kind of forgotten about, and
I
it
mean,
made it.
I
completely
hadn't, but
relevant.
yes, most people had.
For
God, I love Absolution.
for a digital only category, it was probably the most important that it
Yes.
was digital. I will give you that.
That would be that's the only reason I would vote for it over Oxenfree.
You talking about Hitman?
Yeah.
Hitman's actually my choice for this, and I haven't played a single second of it.
Inside's my choice for this, but
And The Witness
like-
is mine.
for the win. But
And
either way, we got.
And to me, the reason that I'm picking Hitman is because of the importance of the fact that it was digital only.
I also think for both The Witness and Hitman, price actually is a factor. When you think of a digital game, you don't think of a $40 to $60 game, but that's what both those games were. And from what I understand for Hitman, you never felt ripped off, and I never for a moment felt like $40 was too much for The Witness.
And also the good news, you could buy episodes
Yeah.
individually for Hitman, so spread it out if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, Hitman is like probably the biggest surprise of the year when we talk about that category later.
I think that
There's a lot.
that the influence of it on digital, like the digital landscape, is important for it to be on this list. But I don't know that that alone makes it the winner. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah,
I think
I'm
we
not-
need to pick the best game, which again, to me personally, is Inside. I think The Witness is an incredibly good game, but the reason I love The Witness is the design of it, not necessarily like if I wouldn't have looked up some certain things online, I never would have beat that game. Like
Really?
it's just impossible, man. Like there-
Oxenfree's my
not
favorite
impossible,
game
obviously,
on
but-
here. Inside's the best game, but I think Hitman's the most important for the digital format. That would be
I can agree with that.
so which one did you say was the best though?
Inside's probably the best game.
Like I said, I mean, I think at the
I
end of the
also agree
day,
with that.
for best digital, we need to pick the best game.
So I guess I'm just gonna have to lose out on Oxenfree, which is fine.
I do love that game with you, though.
Guy's so fucking good.
Oh, and I'm totally with you as well. But I mean,
Trey's lying to you.
we narrowed it down to 7 amazing digital games. Like something.
Wait,
had
we
to-
got to cut one of these. So Oxenfree
I
is the
think
one. that's getting
Oxenfree is the
just
one. It
about-
sounds like has
That
the
would be
least
my vote.
backing.
It's better than The Witness.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
Two of us
It's-
here hate The Witness.
Way better.
It's not. It's
And
like
And 2 of us
factually
here love it though.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just going to be one of those fights this year.
Three
I
of us
think
love
you like it a
Oxenfree.
lot. I don't know about love.
Oh no, I love it. It's
No, I think you're lying to yourself.
okay. You talked me into it.
You
Thank you.
confuse that
Thank
with a
you.
peanut butter sandwich.
Well, listen, nothing is better than a peanut butter sandwich.
Crunchy or smooth?
It sounds like Inside
Smooth
wins
for,
this.
for a sandwich.
No, he only likes smooth peanut butter, and it's fucking weird.
No, I like crunchy peanut butter.
I've never heard you have a situation in which you like.
You know
crunchy
what?
peanut
For more information,
I
let's
don't
go
like
to
it
the blob.
better, but I
Just
still
said-
like it.
You know, for
butter.
for a dissenting opinion, let's go to the blob from inside.
Case in point, Light should win this category.
Yeah, it sounds like Inside wins this.
If we're gonna go with the best game, yeah, it's Inside.
That's a crazy for best digital game. If we're gonna go with the best game,
I'm talking about the best video game on here. I think the fact that it's digital, I think Hitman, there's an importance to that.
I would probably. I mean, it's hard for me to say I'd vote for Hitman over Inside just because I haven't played Hitman. You've made a compelling case for the digital aspect of it. Clearly, my choice is The Witness, but I just think
the
from a
Witness
design-
isn't gonna win this.
Yeah, I know. From a design aspect, that game is better than any game this year.
Disagree.
But
Yep. Me too.
I'm okay with inside.
That's the biggest bummer is that only 2 of us have completed The Witness and only 2 of us have completed Dishonored, and we both have like completely opposite opinions. So like, there's no person that can go, well, I've done both, and let me tell you.
I mean,
I played a lot of The Witness.
yeah. I've
When you
played
say a
several.
lot,
I've got about 5 hours into it.
I mean, I've finished
That's
like
enough
half
to
of the
judge a
puzzles.
game.
how many puzzles have you? I'm sure you don't know the number
I
exactly.
mean, I've got
but-
like
200.
4 of those light beams.
Okay,
That's a significant amount.
okay. Then you've played more than I thought you played.
Yeah, fuck you, Trey.
Your
still
argument
wrong.
is invalid.
You're still wrong, but that's okay. So inside.
Yeah, I'm okay with Inside.
Yeah.
All right, best digital only game goes to Inside, with runners up The Witness and Hitman being right there behind it.
I mean,
Witness a little bit higher.
I think it's pretty impressive. Hitman's on that list. It'd be
I
like
think
I do
Firewatch
too.
And,
I think
Yeah,
it's
and like I
great.
said, and I like Firewatch as a whole better, but
like
there was
Preparation
an
H.
importance to it. Yeah, it
Hold
feels
on,
good.
I
on
need to
the
take a
whole.
drink before all this reading out loud.
Jesus
1 second.
Christ, this next category.
Best moment of the year.
One breath, Josh. Go. Come on, Ace Ventura it.
Solving the first environmental puzzle
No,
in The
don't
Witness.
do it.
All right. Solving the first environmental puzzle in The Witness, beating the cave in The Witness, solving the first Helix puzzle in The Witness.
Yeah, Helix. Never forget.
Alternative real world exit in The Witness. The Blob in Inside. Being pulled into the abyss in Inside. Marching in line in Inside. Getting knocked out in Firewatch. The Cajun Carnival in Mafia 3. The Senate Committee shootout in Mafia 3. The opening heist in Mafia 3. Fighting on top of the airship in Battlefield 1. Taking out a train in Battlefield 1. Jumping the Jeep off of the cliff in Uncharted 4. Oh, is that like the suspended rappelling?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I don't remember that. Playing Crash Bandicoot in Uncharted 4. Pirate Dinner Theater in Uncharted 4. The Flaming Sword fight in Uncharted 4. Jeep and motorcycle chase in Uncharted 4. The Watchtower collapse in Uncharted 4, which apparently that's a game that didn't have a lot of big moments. The story of a suicide bomber in Broforce. The first time you leave and enter the atmosphere in No Man's Sky. Winning the FA Cup in FIFA 17. I'm still going to keep pushing that. Realizing
Jesus
who's in
Christ.
control in the Turing test. The first time you learn the truth in stories.
A truth.
Yeah, sorry, A Truth. Fairy Tale book in The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. Hacking the Globe in,
Hack the world, yo.
in Watch Dogs 2.
They probably really say it like that too, don't
yeah.
they?
Fighting Titan in Final Fantasy 15. The Time Level in Titanfall 2. Helicopter
Did we just
weapon in
go with
Gears
the
of War
whole
4.
level?
Yep, apparently
Jesus
the whole
Christ.
level.
Winning a match in Overwatch. Turning a... You dick. I don't know who said that, but you're an asshole. Turning it off in No Man's Sky. The audiobook
Yep.
in Quantum Break, just the audiobook.
Uh huh.
If you've been
Okay.
paying attention to the TV show, you'd know.
Tanker collapse in Quantum Break.
Oh, that's so
The
good.
pool reveal in Quantum Break. The Time Knife storyline, or the Time Life screenplay, rather, in Quantum Break. The Kite in Unraveled. The first Rift in Oxenfree. Hangman in Oxenfree. The Climbing King's Quest. BT Sacrifice in Titanfall 2. The Descent in Titanfall 2. The Clockwork Shift in Dishonored 2. The First Time Shift in Dishonored 2. The fucking Buffalo in Virginia.
That wins.
Winner.
Swimming in a school in Abzu. Time Loop in the park. Any Clean Assassination Hitman. And there's 4 that weren't on here earlier, you lying assholes.
They're here now.
Ruben Sacrifice in Minecraft Story Mode. Flare Mouth in Walking Dead Michonne.
Yeah, Flare Mouth.
Trick Shot in Super Hot.
Hashtag Flare Mouth.
And
Oh.
turning Dent into Two-Face in Telltale's
The
Batman.
super hot one is high.
You're welcome. See, sometimes it works.
You guys...
It worked with
I'm
Sam
not
too.
gonna
To be
fucking talk.
fair.
I gotta fucking talk about it anymore. Holy shit, that was a lot to
All right,
read.
Let's go duplicates.
Typically, yeah, duplicates is
Duplicates.
what we start with.
Start at the top.
Let's get rid of some of this shitty witness stuff.
Man, there's 3 moments that are really hard to argue against right now in this game.
We have to cut it down
So
to
down
one.
to
I
one.
know. my personal,
Mine
in
Kemp's-
terms of like my
Cough.
personal moment
Oh, sorry.
would be beating the cave, but that is because
should've
of
got
how
that right.
hard that particular thing is.
Mine would be solving the
It's
first
the first
environment.
environmental puzzle, and like that is. We'll talk probably when we get down
It
to
fucking
cutting
blew my
things,
mind.
but it's an absolutely brilliant moment in video gaming. we can cut beating the cave. We can cut the first Helix puzzle just because when you first did that, what the fuck is that video you watch?
Yeah, he looks.
And then the real world exit, which when you realize that that game includes the sun in an environmental puzzle, it's fucking awesome. But yeah, so inside is getting pulled into the abyss. The mermaid monster.
Yes, that is easily my
More
number
than the
one.
blob?
Yeah, for the blob, like I was like, I just died.
The blob.
It's a beautiful scene. It's out of nowhere. God, it's so good.
So for me, the blob wins over when I realized that, and I realized it immediately when I saw that model of the area, like the end
That
of the
you
mountain
fall
with the
into.
lake,
Mm-hmm.
and you're walking around in that lab, and I see it. I was like, oh, that's where you're going to end up at the end of this game, and then you actually do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said it immediately, and that was brilliant, and it was really cool that they did that. It would personally be my high point. It's hard because it's an entire section of the game more than an actual moment. So I can
Yeah, like
see
the moment you see the blob is not necessarily like this holy shit moment. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. but-
Really? It
Yeah,
was
because
for
you're
me.
like,
It's,
what?
No, it's a holy shit moment, but I can see.
Trey saw that coming a mile away.
I kept trying to put myself in a furnace. I
Yeah.
was like, I guess I get in and kill myself.
Oh, with you throwing the boxes over?
Yeah, yeah.
I liked that part a lot.
I'm okay with being pulled into the abyss as the one from inside that.
That's fine. I
That'd be cute.
honestly don't think any of those three are going to make the.
Pulling the abyss
Top
is
three.
high for me.
I mean, it's up there, but anyway,
Um,
I'm fine with pulling into the abyss as well.
Getting knocked out in Firewatch, we can keep. Mafia 3. The opening heist is really cool. It's also a long section of the game. I just like
the
how.
Senate's the best part of that game.
Most likely, I agree. The carnival is super cool. Again, it's a whole level.
It's too long.
It is.
You're talking about the underwater old amusement park, right? That's
Yeah.
like in a
Yeah,
swamp.
where you hang the guy on the Ferris
Yeah.
wheel.
It's
Now
God,
that
that was
particular moment
awesome.
was awesome.
Yeah.
I like to me the moment that
walking
was
through the
better.
rides was so cool.
To me, the better singular moment was stringing up that dude on the cross, the fat mob boss guy, and
Mhm.
burning him. That was awesome.
At the Brotherhood of the South
Yeah.
or whatever.
It was kind of cool.
Like there's a bunch of cool moments like that with revenge. But as far as like the singular moment, I think the Senate committee
Yeah.
was so out of fucking nowhere.
And we're gonna actually talk about some of these moments once we're done cutting,
Yeah.
because I definitely want to have my say on that because that moment was fucking awesome. We can cut both the battlefield
Thank
moments.
you. All of me was trying not to say it.
I loved taking out that train like in the Lawrence of Arabia level was fucking awesome.
It's pretty cool.
It's really fucking cool because it's just a giant death train that you are like somehow trying to figure out how to use these World War I era weapons to take out, but it doesn't stand up.
Uncharted.
Either the pirate dinner scene or
there's
playing Crash
one.
Bandicoot.
There's one clear moment here, and it's the Jeep chase. Like that
Just the whole Jeep chase.
Yeah, it was awesome. It sold me on. That's out of all these, I'm like having some problems remembering some of these things. Of course, playing Crash Bandicoot.
That's like such a cool fucking moment.
It's Watchtower for me, but that's a person. I thought that was the best
For m-
set piece in
for
the whole
me-
thing.
It was a bit
For me, and this is a quiet moment, but like getting to that scene where all the pirate captains.
It was the coolest scene
Like,
by
it
far.
was-
I took screenshots like for background on my PS4 because it was so cool. looking.
And like it was such a Goonies moment. Like that was them standing around One-Eyed Willie's table, and it was so fucking cool.
It was cool.
It was.
And like that whole scene of walking around and reading like this infighting going on between these pirate captains, these heads of the fucking order, basically, and like all the letters leaving of like I can't trust him, I don't trust her, and like seeing the cannons that have been set up outside of people's houses because there was literally a civil war going on in this island.
So
The whole scene was awesome.
so
But
why don't would you cut that or Crash Bandicoot first?
I would cut Crash amazingly.
I would cut Crash as well.
So why don't we keep Dinner Theater and
The Jeep chase?
Jeep chase?
Just for now.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many Uncharted moments. I get we'll probably have to cut it down to one eventually, but
That at least takes it lower.
yeah, that's still 2 out of 7 or whatever it is, and then
From an aesthetic standpoint, that flaming sword fight was cool.
Oh, it was
so
awesome.
fucking cool. But yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is not. It's not on the same level. Quantum Break is the next duplicate.
we have 2 No Man's Sky ones.
Do we?
Yeah, the
Turning
first
it
time
off
you
and
leave and then
leaving it.
turning it off.
Cut both
I
of
vote
them.
the second one.
Cut both of them. I will go ahead and say now,
I will give you
The achievement of that
in
and, like,
full disclosure, going into the atmosphere and seeing space, just coming off the planet is pretty cool. The
And-
novelty wears off super
See,
fast.
for me, I was so frustrated by the time I got off the planet that I was just like, this is like
Man,
fucking finally.
I never ran into that problem. I spent like 20 minutes on my first planet.
Good
like-
for you, because it's random.
I did
not.
too, but it wasn't by choice.
When you first also when I first realized that this thing I want to go to is literally at highest speed, 20 minutes away on this planet, but if I fly out of the atmosphere, go around the curvature of the planet and then back down,
the physics of
it's
it are
so fucking cool. But it doesn't hold up.
You're right.
It's less a moment and more.
I
a
get where
mechanic.
I'm with you on that actually, but yeah, you're right. It should be cut.
Now Quantum Break.
It's the tanker probably. I think
Is that
that's
You
when
talking
you're,
about the
like,
first glitch?
rewinding?
when-
It's like the glitch, and
when the huge freighter ship
Goes into
starts to run into the ground and turn over, and there's the large shipping containers going everywhere. It's
and
Is
it's
this when you're
glitching.
crossing
Yeah.
a bridge or whatever?
It's a better-
too, and-
Oh, it
it's
is.
a better.
awesome.
It's a better set piece than anything in Uncharted, I thought. For
yeah.
the big set pieces of the year, I thought it was fucking incredible.
Because that blew my
But-
mind. I just sat there on because you crest that first shipping container, you're looking at the whole thing, and everything is like in the middle, and then like flashing back, and then kind of flashing back.
Yeah, and it's
I
the
was like,
moment when
oh
it
my
first happens,
God.
when the freighter hits and you see it, and then time freezes, and you realize you're like, oh shit, I've got to get across this.
it's
All
Now,
Yeah.
hear
all
me
that
out.
being said, I was gonna say audiobook.
No.
Come on.
I
It
don't
was
even know-
really
I don't even know
fucking
what the fuck
funny.
you guys are talking about.
You find this audiobook when you're playing in the game, like when you're playing the video game, and you it's like a collectible thing. You turn it on, and then when you watch the following
TV
episode,
show we talked about it earlier.
yeah, it just randomly comes on over the intercom, and
out of
everyone's like,
nowhere. And
what the fuck is that?
yeah. And the general's like, "What's that noise going on?" We don't know, sir. It was playing when we got here. Okay, moving on.
it's really good.
Hear me out. Time Knife.
Time Knife is great, and it's really. It's also
It's
long
a series.
as balls.
It's a series of moments.
Time Knife
also.
is so long.
It
Yeah.
really was. I tried to read it all.
Yeah.
How did you not read it all? How could you put it down? It's
'Cause
the best book of all time.
The pool reveal was great. I thought that's when you find out that Beth has been there all along, like an older Beth that was stuck in the path.
Yeah.
That was a really cool moment in the
That
story.
was cool.
But no, it's the tanker is easily number one. It's the best
That's
set
fair.
piece of the year.
Bruce has just had his best friend killed by his boss, Paul Marine. Bruce now has a
Time Knife is
that
great. We
sends-
know Time Knife is great.
Bruce now has a time knife
Quantum
that
Break's
sends
awesome.
things through time if he stabs them. He is going to Paul Marine's wedding now to tell his girlfriend Sophine not to marry him because he's the real shitty guy. It's really brilliant.
It's really fucking good.
All right, so what else is there?
There's 2 Oxenfrees.
It's Hangman.
It is Hangman.
The first riff, you're like, what
Is that
the
in the
fuck
cave?
is happening?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
No,
Cave
that
when like shit starts expanding.
that's
or
the
whatever?
first.
first
That's
one.
the first riff.
Hey, that's what I'm
Hangman,
saying.
yeah, Hangman is when you're in the old abandoned, like hollowed out school, and there's like on the chalkboard that you're, yeah, and then all of a sudden the
Yeah.
bloody handprints of 1, 2, 3.
And it's
Yeah,
like
that was
name
that was a
yourself.
cool moment.
God, it's
I was like,
it's
oh,
terrifying. It's
Yeah,
so
it is.
good.
All right, but
oh
so
man,
yeah,
also that first time when
It's
you're
also
in
in
the
that same room where you do that you think you see a ghost in the mirror, but I'm
Yeah,
actually
it's-
seeing one of you playing.
yeah, and then also another really cool moment too is when you're in that cabin for the first time and the lights go out and you see that like monster thing like flash really
I
quick
got
with the red
terrified.
eyes.
It's so good. God, I love that fucking game. But no, Hangman's easily the best.
I
of those
agree.
two.
is it BT sacrifice for
What's
King,
the
for
Descent?
Titanfall?
That's the going. That's
Down
the
the-
end of the time level.
Okay, yeah, you can just take time level off, and we'll keep the descent.
So we're keeping the descent from Titanfall.
And instead of having just the time level.
Well, but there's also BT Sacrifice on there.
Yeah, you say between those two, what do you think?
The descent was more crazy, like more holy shit than BT Sacrifice. BT Sacrifice was obviously more impactful. For me, it's probably the descent.
It's a cool. Even though, like, for story purposes, I was like, no.
I can't believe you didn't put. I didn't think about it because I filled this out before I beat the game, but I can't believe you didn't put the boss battle with Viper or whatever the mech you fight on the freaking airship.
Yeah, it's not like I played on hard on this, and like I said, I died like 16
Oh,
times.
yes.
It was not a great level. I was pissed off.
Oh man, it was so cool.
and it
though.
wasn't bad just because he was better than me.
Also, the first time they do a fucking cannonball special.
yeah, it's pretty great.
I'm like, holy shit, this is what it feels like to be Wolverine. He like throws you across the fucking map.
That's cool.
Yeah,
It is
it's
cool.
awesome.
But yeah, I'd say the Descent's probably the best one out of that.
Okay. And I think is that all the duplicates?
Dishonored.
To me, it was the time stuff.
Here's the problem. I had already played Titanfall, which just does the exact same thing, which is crazy, and it doesn't make it any less better. It just wasn't as surprising because, like, here's this thing I had never seen done before, and then Titanfall did it, and then Dishonored did it a month later, and neither one of them knew the other one was doing that, which is
Well, I mean, we
crazy.
saw that preview at E3 with
I
Emily.
did not remember that.
Yeah,
Are
I
you talking
did.
about the stuff that's like semi-similar to
You have a gadget, I
Bioshock?
guess. No. It's you have a gadget where you pull it out and there's like a fan with different, like 4 or 5 different like glass blades, and when you hit the button, it pulls out and you can see what's going on in the past or the future, depending on if you're in the past or present, or the past or the present. And then so you're like, I would be looking at Trey and holding this thing up right here and seeing like somebody that's walking towards me. And then as soon as they turn away, I can warp into.
So you're seeing like
the
5
past.
different timelines?
No.
No.
It's
You
that's
can
just
see
the way
what's
that
in the other one.
Okay.
it's just the way that it's
Instead
presented.
of blindly shifting into the other one, you can like see
You get a
small
preview.
glimpse of it. And so if you see a guy walking he'll disappear, which means you just walk through your spot in the mansion in the past, and then you shift and you're behind him. You slit his throat, then you shift back to the other time period.
Yeah, which is basically it's exactly the same as Titanfall.
Mm-hmm.
Like there would be guys shooting at you. You would warp
But we
into
saw
the
that
past.
at E3 in
walk
June.
through.
I
and
just
then-
missed that then.
Oh, okay. Because
So it
that's
was a pleasant surprise for me.
okay.
For me, it was the clockwork shift, just because I've never seen a level like that. You go in this house, and the whole thing is like, because the whole thing's kind of steampunk.
It's like an infinite amount of iterations of a house.
Like it's all on gears, and like if a level gets pulled or an enemy gets alerted, the house starts to defend itself, and the whole house changes. Like the rooms shift.
Oh, that's cool.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I'll get, especially with your Titanfall argument, I'll give you the clockwork. It's pretty fucking awesome.
And also,
Alright.
you can find a way to get in between the walls and skip half the level. It's
Yep.
awesome.
All right. So, what do we cut now from the regulars?
Let's do this. Let's see. What's an easy?
Winning a match in Overwatch.
Yeah, that
That's
seems
fair.
kind of ambiguous.
pretty
to
awesome.
me.
It does
But-
feel really good.
By the same.
Well, for you, because you're terrible at it. And
I'm not
You
terrible
don't-
at it.
you don't
Getting
play a lot.
Getting a mercy play of the game.
There you
I'll
go.
give that.
Yeah, which has happened before.
Turning off No Man's Sky. I thought we cut that.
I kept that on there just in
It's a
case.
pretty great moment, to be fair.
Let's put a pin in it.
God damn it. You can take winning the FA Cup off of FIFA.
Have you not done that already?
No, because we didn't. We only had
We
one.
haven't-
so
I'm
we-
joking. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Stories.
Yeah. The first truth isn't as cool. I guess I technically could have said once you realize that basically you're stuck in this time loop until you figure out the exact right path to go. But yeah, it's a really cool mechanic, but it doesn't necessarily hit a moment.
We probably cut helicopter weapon from Gears 4.
Ooh, really?
I
I
don't
mean,
even remember what it is.
You
Oh,
find that big
the
boss
helicopter
monster.
crash, and there's that huge boss monster, and you're in the mech suit, and you pull the helicopter blades off of it, and you're just like slicing
Oh,
that
yeah.
fucking
You're
thing
using the
up.
fucking
It
helicopter
is pretty
blades.
fucking cool.
Oh, it is cool. I just don't think it's going to hang in the top 3.
Can we? Do we have to eliminate it now?
If you don't want
What's
to, I
easy?
guess.
I'm not going to
What's the
because I'm in
easy
control of
code?
this.
There's less
Abzu.
easy. Is that the School
Yeah.
of Fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's a great moment. I actually don't think I put that one on.
I did.
Oh, okay. It's a great moment, but the problem is, again, it gets compared to Journey, and the sand surfing is
Oh, it's
a
much
far better version of that moment.
I just wanted
Well,
to
you don't
admit because
have
I
one,
wasn't
so-
sure how much we talk about Hitman, but I put anytime you doing a clean assassination and get away with it, and you just walk out of the room,
That's what happened.
you feel like the most badass. Like Trey can speak to this from previous Hitman games. Like there's
Oh,
nothing
yes.
like doing that,
It's fucking the best.
but it can be cut because that's pretty generic.
Are you on the time loop on the park? Are you talking about the
The
end when
end.
you're walking through the apartment?
Yeah, and you keep restarting like
Yeah.
that loop. It's awesome,
Man,
man.
It's
time
cool.
was a fucking thing this year, by the way.
It was
Ooh,
TV
man, that
and
was
everything.
really awesome.
Was the
How
park
subtle
this year
changes and everything. Yeah, the park was this year.
on just consoles, or was it last year on PC? Because a lot of times that happens.
I
I
mean,
don't know. I mean, it was available to us on
Okay,
this
that's
year,
fine.
so
I
that's
just
how
wasn't
we've
sure
always
how we
done
want
it.
to do it. Okay.
I mean, either way, I don't think it's going to make a top 3.
No,
spot,
in
so-
fact, you can probably cut it. It's not gonna make top 3, but
Oh.
it was really good.
Go
Just
ahead
for
and-
people who aren't aware, that essentially what you're doing is like it's normal. It's like a normal level you walk through, and then you start back again, and it gets worse and worse
More
and
more
worse
insane.
and more fucked up every single time you go
walk through the
through.
door. Yeah.
It's really well.
There
done.
were some shitty mechanics on that game, but overall, that's a solid little game. I think.
Yeah, not bad.
It's interesting for sure.
All right.
I'm gonna cut Flare Mouth. That was my
I
my
remember,
thing
it was
from.
cool.
It was awesome.
It was pretty
That
fucking
guy
cool.
like was trying to attack you, and you grab a flare and shoot him in the mouth, and his whole head lights up. It was great.
It's negated by the fact that at the end of that game, when you're in the action, then you have to walk through slowly finding your children.
Yeah.
Man, it was a bad
Michelle's
choice by them.
children are the fucking downfall of all storytelling.
Oh, we should have put them as villains.
Oh, we should have. They could have won.
Fuck you, Sam.
Let's go ahead and please, for the love of God, cut the buffalo.
Don't cut the buffalo. Let's put a pin
I
in
believe
it.
it says
No!
the fucking buffalo.
No pins.
Those are brackets.
That story would have been so much better if you had just hit the buffalo in the middle of the fucking road and moved on from it.
Hacking the globe.
There's more than one.
All right, so hacking the globe is a really
Sounds
cool.
like a hard thing to do.
It is. So it's a really cool moment toward the end of Watch Dogs 2. It's really kind of I put it in here because it's the most Hollywood feeling thing that I've seen this year.
Hollywood.
Basically, as you're taking out all these multiple different conglomerates, it turns out that everybody is kind of interlinked with the CEOs working together of these corporations to basically violate everybody's civil rights, very much like what is actually happening in the world. To try and take them out, you have to gain access to this giant server farm that they have, and you have to do that by going through an interlocking network of satellites. Once you gain access to the satellites, you literally, like in the very Watchdog style, when you're going from camera to camera,
Right.
like you think you're just going to go ahead and do something like that, and oh no, you're in a fucking satellite, and you're orbiting the whole world, and you're just bouncing between all of them all around the globe, and you're going
That's
down
pretty cool.
into
So it's like the
one-
camera bouncing, except it's
only by
satellites.
satellites. You're
That's-
going into one building, and you're taking out the temperature control, and then you're going back up into the satellites, out into another building, and you're shutting down the power grid. You're going like back and forth 3 or 4 times, and it's fucking dope. Like I loved it.
Cut.
Oh, I think that makes it a stronger argument. I've never heard someone call something dope in a while.
Fucking dope, yo.
It was like when I was playing, I was just like, this is awesome.
All right.
This is totally like Hollywood hacking, where they're just like, but it works. Like, you know what I mean?
Probably
What-
the
what
climb
movies
from
are you
King's Quest.
watching?
Oh, a lot of movies do that.
They
They're just
just
like,
said
I'm
3.
hacking. Click, click,
I
click.
loved it, but
I'm talking about the Ice Queen level.
yeah,
Did
it was
we-
really awesome.
Did
but,
we actually cut the satellites, by the way? The hacking the world?
I'd put a pin in it. That's
Okay,
not
cool.
cool.
It's-
I don't know that it'll make top 3,
Yeah,
but
it's one of these moments where it's actually a
I was
gameplay
saying you
thing,
could
so-
probably cut King's Quest.
Oh, okay.
To me, King's Quest wasn't really about
It's not
like
about
strong
moments.
solo moments. You
It
know,
feels like it's more the
It is.
combination
It's
of
a
5
lasting
episodes
story
worth
with
of-
you,
yeah.
man.
getting knocked out in Firewatch.
It came out of nowhere and it
I
terrified
mean, it was
me.
surprising, but I don't think it's a top 3.
To
moment.
me, the moment of that game would actually be the first time you see Homeboy up on the cliff and he shines light in your face and you're like, what the fuck
And
is
you're like,
happening?
hey, homeboy.
Stop being so dope, yo.
See, back on the white tick. Anyway, to me, moment for Firewatch was, and it was not like shocking moment. It was like depressing.
Naming the turtle.
Jesus Christ moment. Like what the hell? No, it was fine. And the
Shut
bot,
the fuck-
the body of the boy at the
the
bottom
end.
of the
Oh,
cabin.
it's
Yeah.
brutal, man.
Or
Man,
the
I
opening-
just like
The opening
oh.
choices you make, just in terms of like creating that like little bit of backstory for
Yeah.
Henry's character,
Oh,
only
I
to
forgot
find
about how
out.
that.
You're
Game
kind of
opened
a
up. It's
shit
really
person
good.
for a little bit.
Yeah, it's rough, but I still say cut it.
Yep. This Final Fantasy thing, fighting
Yeah, I
Titan.
was about to ask about that.
Yeah, so the
Stupid
reason
ass Final Fantasy bullshit.
You're
What the
gonna,
hell
you
is
guys
up
are gonna
with
be really angry when I say what this is, but the reason I put it on there is because in actual practice, it's way better. This is the thing you saw in the E3 demo.
Oh, the thing that sucked?
Yes, because
The
that
big
that guy did not know how to fucking play, but actually, it is the closest thing to a God
Developer?
of War. This is like the closest thing to a God of War moment that we've had this year, and it was really fucking cool to do. I actually just did it about 2 days ago, but yeah, I mean, basically, in the world of Final Fantasy 15, I don't know if this is the whole fucking story of Final Fantasy because I've never played one of those games before, but there was a giant meteor that struck, and like it is like this kind of thing that people go and like view and see. and there is a giant monster holding it up on his shoulders, basically.
Mhm.
And you go there, and you're going to talk to him and see, like, apparently it's some sort of call that you have that you need to go speak to him. Turns out he attacks you, and the fight itself is really cool. Just the way you take him down. It's like also that kind of pivotal moment where right when you're about to get your first summon, which I thought I had put on here for one of those moments, but we took out. Like it's a really cool, like, large scale moment, but yeah, it doesn't quite fit here.
The dialogue in that game is only outdouched by Watch Dogs 2, but I will say I played several hours to speak on it. The combat is surprisingly
It's really fun, right?
Really fun,
Especially
on
like
Final Fantasy.
Did you get to anything where you started getting like the weapons of the kings, basically?
No, I didn't play that much.
So there's like 14 armature weapons that are basically like these. They're weapons that you can use that when you use them, they actually take your life away significantly. Any damage you do, you also take. But once you get 3 or 4 of them, you like unlock this limit break mode, basically, where you go into like super god mode and you just use all of the weapons that you have previously gained at one time, and you're just like bouncing between them back and forth.
Like,
so if you get all 14, you're basically a god.
I would love to shit on that game because
it
just,
turns out it's not bad.
It's not a terrible game. No, the dialogue is horrific.
yeah.
It's Japanese as fuck, and it's bad Japanese as fuck.
Oh, no, yeah,
So,
totally.
but
yeah, no, that can come off now. The summon, by the way, is super cool. Just the first time you get it, because the aftermath of that is awesome.
Summoning.
Like you get this giant wizard who hits that lightning bolt on the ground, and then like for the next like minute and a half of gameplay, the whole world is just scorched earth.
that is actually kind of cool.
It's really awesome looking.
Giant wizard is what I nickname my dick.
It's fair. Excelsior.
You name it the Grand
Tell
Wizard.
me about Fairy Tale Book from Witcher 3 Blood and Wine.
Oh, we can cut that. It's toward the end of the game when you're going to. So there's a reveal about basically you get sent off to this other continent that is like a fairy tale world almost, basically. Like the knights are all in like gilded gold armor. Everything is like super over the top rich, but there are giant like titans and monsters that feel like it's kind of out of a Hans Christian Andersen or a Brothers Grimm story.
Is
And-
it Hans Christian?
Hans, I guess.
Okay, I was like, have I been saying this wrong my whole life?
I don't know.
Hands.
Hans Christian Andersen. Toward the end of the game, though, you are going to find this character, and it comes to find out that basically she has been trapped in a storybook that she was read as a kid. And so you go into the storybook itself, and it is those fairy tales. Like you meet up with Hansel and Gretel, and you meet up with Hansel and Gretel. You meet up with a
Hansel!
You go through all these fables in a Witcher type way. Like you actually fight the Wicked Witch of the West, but it's done in a very Witcher aesthetic. And
That's
so like
kinda cool.
going through that whole thing, Jack and the Beanstalk is actually how you
Did
get
anyone
out.
play the Bagda Yagba DLC
no, I want
for?
to. Should I
Nope,
max?
I own it,
Tomb Raider?
but nope.
It's pretty good.
But yeah, I just thought it was really cool,
Classic
especially
You
because
can't
like
say that about
using
yourself.
Jack's Beanstalk
Yeah, I
to
can,
get out of
when
the
it's
book
true.
again. Like
I
it was a
guess.
really
That
cool.
sounds
moment.
pretty cool.
It
Actually,
really was cool, but you can cut that.
Done.
Turning Dent into Two-Face.
Oh man, that was so awesome.
It
It was cool.
It's
I just don't
cool.
think it hangs.
Yeah.
I mean, we can cut. That's
Okay.
fine. Everybody's looking at me to go ahead and cave in. So
Come on.
And there's actually 2 different moments about it too, like when you're on
on
the
when you-
when
Yeah,
you're
mine
on the
was later.
stage and
Yeah, I didn't do it
the
then.
penguin is like
I didn't
flying
do
your
it at
face
all.
off,
So.
and then at the end when you catch him on fire and then his whole suit bursts.
Yep,
It's pretty
he's
cool.
Harvey Dent till the end for me.
Hey everybody, I'm nobody special.
I'm just a guy with schizophrenia.
All right, now we're
They
getting-
call me old Harvey One Face.
realizing who's in control for Turing test.
It's so
I was kind of starting to guess.
yeah, but the way they told that story, when you start walking through the world and then it like cuts to third person again, and you're like walking through, you're leading her throughout the whole camera system, and then it, like every TV starts trying to give you trying to give you hints about everything.
Oh, it's cool as shit.
It's so fucking cool.
For
but-
me, the coolest part of that game was the Chinese room that you find.
yes,
It was really cool.
Man,
But
there are so many cool.
Lots of
puzzles
whores in
that
there.
game.
oh yeah,
There are a
Patience.
lot of really cool
Horse.
puzzles in that
Oh.
game, but yeah,
Four horses.
I would go ahead and cut that from the Turing test.
All right, got it.
Tell me about the sacrifice that Ruben made.
Oh, he saved us all.
Man, fuck that shit, man. I was so
Ah,
mad.
the
I was
re-
mad.
Did we take the buffalo out?
No, it's the fucking buffalo, and there's a pin in it.
It must have really hurt the buffalo.
They got a thick hide.
Anyway, Ruben's one of the like this is one of my favorite characters up through episode 4, I want to say, and
Yeah,
then
he's awesome.
like he's just a pet pig, and he helps and gets
A lot of
into
personality.
shenanigan.
Very much like The Wolf Among Us.
No, he don't talk like a
Continue.
douchebag that smokes cigarettes and it's always bumming shit. Ruben pulls his weight. He is not
Thank
a
you,
drain on
Chuck.
society.
Thank you. You know what? We should put a pin in this.
But when
You did this to
it's-
yourself.
it's so awesome. Like whenever he sacrifices himself, just like in Minecraft, whenever you kill a
It
pig,
turns into goddamn bacon.
it's a
and
pork
it-
chop.
It kills me.
Evan like sent me a
I
text. It's
threw
like
my controller across the room.
it's my moment of the year is his response to what happens because he's like, Ruben, no, he's like, goddamn, fuck this fucking ass game. Like it's just like a string of swears that fills up my phone at like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like,
I
oh
was
my
so
god,
mad.
That's fantastic.
It's
we
just
change
the
it to-
audacity, Ruben.
Can we change it to Evan's reaction to Ruben's sacrifice?
Sure.
They should have killed him.
The kite and Unraveled.
Yeah, I was gonna say that feels like a cut.
Oh man,
It was cool.
It was
it's
really
super
cool.
high for me. The emotional, like, just aspect of it and how beautiful it is. It was so cool. I guess we can cut it, but man, I loved that so much.
I think now we can probably cut helicopter weapon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um,
That whole last level was really cool. Actually, I like that moment in Gears 2 when you've got a hold of that thing and you shoot it and you like fly
Yeah,
up
it's
into
pretty
the
fucking
air.
cool.
That
Yeah.
was awesome.
I also think now we can cut Pirate Dinner Theater as much as that's my favorite part of that game. If we've got to go down to just one, the bombastic Uncharted moment of that game is that motorcycle chase.
Yeah, it's the biggest like set piece for them in that one. It's not my favorite one of that, but it's probably their biggest one. The one they hinged, like that's the promo material.
Yeah,
and
there's a
everything.
reason that they show that whole sequence basically.
I wish they hadn't.
I agree because that was like the one downfall for that game for me was like, man, I really wish I hadn't fucking seen all of this before.
It's like seeing the train thing in
Yep.
Uncharted 2 or the
Yeah.
tanker or the capsizing ship in Uncharted 3.
Which they showed the capsizing ship to an extent, but they didn't show the
some
whole
of
thing.
it. They showed more of the plane in
Oh,
Uncharted
yeah.
3 than
Yeah,
they did. in-
Also, that plane moment was great. God, Uncharted's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Do we even keep that motorcycle chase on here though? To be honest with you,
I don't think it holds up to like Tanker Collapse as far as you're talking about a big set piece moment for that style of game.
As much as I don't like that game, that was really fucking cool.
It was better than either. Now, is Uncharted like? Do I enjoy Quantum Break more than Uncharted? Yes. Is Uncharted objectively a better game? Yes. But that moment in Quantum Break was better
That's-
than anything that Uncharted had for like a big set piece moment.
That's fair. I mean, I loved Uncharted 4 a lot, but I can see it just not having a best moment. Like,
I also think that, just like what we were talking about a second ago, if they wouldn't have shown that so heavily at E3, I think it would have been much more
Yeah.
impactful and
I agree.
may have wound up on this list. But
I agree 100%.
I also got stuck on a building and didn't know where the fuck to go at one point. I'm like, I am getting murdered and I have no idea where to go.
The suicide bomber.
That was really funny.
I'm glad you
It's,
guys liked it.
it's out of nowhere when
yeah,
you play
especially
the
when
game.
you're just, it's like in like third or fourth level of the game, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
you've
like
been
it's
playing
when
for a
they
little
first
while.
introduce a suicide bomber in that game. It's just like it cuts to him, and you're like, oh, this is a new enemy, and then he just runs, and it cuts to his fucking whole life story before.
and then he
him
dies
for
no
reason.
reason.
He
He
just
wasn't
kills
even
himself.
close to that guy.
That game is so fun.
It is a surprisingly good game.
Honestly, aside from the suicide bomber, anytime you unlock a new bro is kind of moment of the
It's
year. For
epic. It's
me.
like did it,
You're like,
did
which
it,
one
did
is
it,
it?
did it.
And then the fact that the controller flashes red, white, and blue when you win a level. It's
That's
amazing.
the
Holy
best.
shit.
It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
best moment. Oh
How
yeah.
is that not on here?
No kidding.
That was
It
amazing.
goes into this sweet ass guitar riff, and
like,
yeah, your controller goes ballistic with colors.
What?
Yeah, like you're like the PlayStation.
That's awesome.
It's great.
America.
Yeah, it's the most America moment that's ever happened.
It's fucking great.
Fuck the suicide bomber.
Man,
Um,
Broforce was great.
Hangman, can we?
Oh
No.
man,
No.
that's maybe
It
my
was-
number one.
It was cool. I didn't.
Obviously,
that
I
impactful
love
for me.
Oxenfree and got wrapped up into that, but man,
Tell
that was
me-
my moment of the game.
When you say trick shot, is this the end of the game?
I
No,
didn't put
it's
this.
really
Like
no.
the
It's
first time you.
it's
I assume.
yeah. It's really like any time in Super Hot where you pull off something that you're like, that's not gonna work. Oh shit, that fucking worked, and then it like replays it in super fast motion.
Super
Hot. It's
Or, like,
really cool.
Yeah, like the first time you realize that, oh, like I can fucking like cut this
I
bullet
can
in
actually
half,
do that.
throw
or-
this sword, like kick this guy, grab his gun, shoot these 3 other dudes.
Go grab that sword that I just threw.
Yeah,
Throw it again. It broke. Oh shit!
I'd like to try the VR stuff because, like,
I want
apparently
to.
the VR stuff is really cool. It's not the same thing.
It's
like,
not out yet.
It is on
Not
PC.
for not for VR or not for PlayStation
PlayStation
VR.
Yeah.
It's cut.
Okay.
It was really, really cool though, for especially in a game that was so innovative.
Does
Do we just want to start throwing out our top 3 here because we're getting bound to that moment?
I think so?
Oh no!
Because these are all. I don't think there's any easy cut left.
No,
I changed the Broforce moment,
cool.
to America.
America moment.
So my 3 are solving the first environmental puzzle in The Witness, the Senate shootout in Mafia 3, and hacking the world in Watch Dogs 2.
Trey.
Solving the first environmental puzzle, America moment, and
You didn't even see it.
it sounds awesome though. And the Descent.
Chuck, what about you?
I'm upset that regardless of whatever we do,
It's
there's
a
gonna
defeat.
be the fucking
Man.
Witness.
I'm
We're gonna
glad we
talk
don't
about-
all do this when there's a game that we hate
Yeah.
that gets awards.
Has it happened
not
today?
even gets awards.
For
Say
you,
what?
has it happened today for you or yesterday?
That stuff is one that I didn't
Hated?
like, that I hated.
Yeah,
Maybe I don't remember. It's been a while.
exactly. Let's
Been a
see. Tanker collapse, absolutely. Senate committee and Hangman.
Mine is Hangman, Tanker Collapse, and Pulled into the Abyss for Inside.
All right, so
So Tanker Collapse is on there.
let's
They got
see.
2 votes anyway.
It's Tanker Collapse, Hangman, and solving the first environmental puzzle. Those are the 3 things that got 2 votes.
So did the Senate committee.
Okay, that's fair. So there's 4. So now we got to cut 1 from there.
All right, so
Damn, I wanted
Ruben
that
got
controller
cut.
thing on there.
Which got cut?
Evan's reaction to Ruben.
Okay.
First clockwork shift.
Yep.
Descent. Let's see.
Hacking
and
the
then
Globe.
Hacking the Globe and
That's fine.
America moment.
And Pulled into the
Okay.
Abyss. I was the only one that voted for it.
So I mean, to talk about
And the Descent from Titanfall 2. Unless you said that.
Yeah, we
They
said
did.
it.
Sorry.
to talk about, I guess the top 2 that got 2 votes that we haven't really spoken too much about, like the environmental puzzle. I get that you guys don't like that game; it's just not your style or whatever. But
I like
The-
puzzle games. I just don't get the appeal to this. It's it's a pretty damn good puzzle game, but I'm like, it's still a puzzle game.
like to me, the design of that game is like unequaled in terms of its brilliance. But the moment that you realize, just walking around, and it happens at a different time for everybody, but it is always whenever you do it, if you're not told about it beforehand, like it is a kind of a glass shattering moment in your head. Like, holy shit, this literally changes the entire way you look not only at this game, but the world within the game. So much so that like you start seeing it everywhere you go. It happened for me like on one of the ships out in the middle of the bay, where it's just like that kind of looks like a puzzle, and it's just a circle cut out in the middle of the ship, and I tap on it like I would a puzzle, and then it turns out that there are these puzzles that are just built throughout the entire world using the sun, using clouds. You've got to redirect one of those lasers, the one laser that you redirect in the game, into the black cloud in the
Laser.
sky to make it the same color of the other clouds, and then you've got to go to an exact specific spot in the world to then line up those clouds and make it one giant puzzle. And the sheer brilliance of playing with perspective and design of those puzzles and realizing that that is a hidden thing within the game, the first time you do it, it absolutely
Here's
changes the way
Here's
that
my
game
argument
plays.
for that. It's not a singular moment. It's for each individual person. Of depending on when it happens, if that's your moment of when you solve an environmental puzzle. And for me, at least, I don't know for Chuck. The first time I did, I was like, "Oh, okay, there was a puzzle." I did not freak out. I was like,
Man, the idea that like there's these like very clear screens with like very set puzzles on them, and then all of a sudden you realize that like literally anything in the world could be a puzzle. Like that was all to me. I was in this like freaked out.
Yeah.
But
and
that
like,
moment for you is different than Josh because it happened at a different
But
time.
it's still
and a different.
the realization that there are environmental
and that's
puzzles
what
is
I'm
still a
saying.
singular thing,
That's
even
what
if
I'm
it
saying,
happens at
because they're
different
different
points.
moments for the same thing, but because of that, like it just doesn't mean anything to me. Like when I did, I was like, oh, okay, there's
and we've
puzzles
had-
everywhere.
I mean,
we've had
Hangman didn't really
moments-
mean anything to me. Like even if it happens at the exact same time. I don't think the argument of it could happen earlier in the game for me than it does for you.
Yeah, because in the past we've had things like that. I mean,
I'm not saying it disqualifies
no, I
that,
know.
but I'm saying that makes the argument valid that Ice did it and it wasn't a big deal.
Right, that just means that your reaction to that moment was different, but you still had the moment.
Yeah, and I'm just saying I
don't know if Chuck
personally,
did. I
I'm
know
not. I was just like, oh, there's a puzzle there. Like I was like, I guess I'm not getting why it's a freak out moment. I was like, oh, there's just puzzles
Well, it's
everywhere.
again, like Chuck,
it,
or I mean,
it depends
Josh
on
said.
your immersion. Like, I guess really, if you're immersed in the gameplay and in the loop of that game, then like hitting that moment is like, holy shit, there's a whole like fourth level to this game that I never really thought
Yeah,
about.
it's like being in 2D for all your life and realizing that 3D exists. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's just way more grandiose than I would describe it.
yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah, I guess I just kind of went into that game as it being a giant, like the entire thing being a giant puzzle.
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind of how I always understood it as well.
for me, it was like such a massive perspective shift, and the fact that like I had been listening to podcasts that were talking about that game so well, like like highly in general, and nobody mentioning that as something that happens, and then I just happened to find one, and then I started thinking back, like I mean, I literally like went through 20 hours of gameplay in my head, like where have I seen these before, and then like
there's
when you
so many of them.
yeah, when you realize that there's one that literally spans the entire outside of the world, basically just by going on that boat, like it really was a mind blowing moment for me personally, and it sounds like for a lot of people
pretty
who play
much
the
in the
game,
same. I'm pretty much in the same boat.
But I don't want to get rid of the Senate committee shootout though. That moment was fucking.
if
great.
you're keeping solving the first environmental puzzle, the Senate committee's got to go. That's just
Does
the way
it?
it's going to work.
I mean, that would be
I mean,
my
he's
cut
the
'cause
other
it's the
vote
one I
for
haven't
it.
played.
I saw it. It was cool.
It was awesome.
It was-
I like it way more
So
than
what
anything
happened?
that
Not even
happened.
playing it.
I don't
I
know
would
what
vote for
happened.
that.
Okay,
happened.
so during the entirety of Mafia 3, it's essentially like a documentary. They're going back.
And I've
there's-
seen some cuts back to the Senate.
Yeah,
so
and
you
he's
know
talking to him.
Yeah.
And so the entire time he was playing those motherfuckers, he gets up and he shoots the committee guy in the fucking head.
no, like yeah.
he
All right.
like there was an entire ruse to
It's
wipe those
awesome.
guys out.
So-
Yeah, he's going
It
through
was
and like this is
great.
after you've basically completed the game, and it's kind of doing the wrap up of like where everybody was, and it goes back to that interview one more time, and he like all of a sudden stands up. They kind of it seems like they're getting ready to either fire him or arrest him or whatever, and he goes into this long speech basically about everybody who sacrificed and died over in Vietnam and what they sacrificed it for, and then just pulls out a gun and just lays waste to these senators, and it's fucking awesome.
It's
It's the biggest
Out
fuck
of
you in
nowhere.
the, like of the year.
It's
like,
the biggest surprise moment because, like, just watching a YouTube thing of like what all happens because I didn't really love the game. That part was awesome. It was the tits.
man, I loved it.
and it was playing God, what song was it? Hold on, I'm coming in the background. The dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. And he starts going into this big soliloquy, and then blah blah. Hold on,
That's cool.
I'm coming.
It's also like hacking the world. It's like the most
So-
Hollywood moment. It
It was
like,
very movie-esque.
So explain to me, Hangman. I mean, I played it,
You
but
freaked out at that moment.
did I though?
Yes, we talked about it. You texted
I'm gonna
me.
need you to scroll up and confirm.
God,
So I
for
just,
a year.
I guess I don't remember having a freak out moment at this.
Yeah, you texted me when it happened to talk about it.
Okay. I don't know. So I guess what?
I mean, I remember seeing it. It didn't do anything.
I
for
still
me,
remember it. I just don't remember my freak out. I mean, I'm not. Obviously, if I did, I did. I just don't remember it now.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, for me,
It was very early in the year. I guess the witness was too, though.
yeah. For me, well, you also just now beat the witness.
But yeah, but I mean, I played all of it like before March, and then I just now went back and knocked out the end.
So glad you did.
For me, yeah, the witness is my easy cut here, but
See, it's my personal number 1 or 2 at worst behind the.
It would
Senate
be my
committee.
number 1. Yeah,
my
I get
my
it's not
number
going to
one's-
win, but
my number one's a tanker.
Tanker,
collapse.
tanker. When you think of moment, that is the moment. It's a set piece. It's just a huge event that happens.
My
Tanker Collapse would be my number
eyes-
2. So
My eyes almost fell out of my head. Like I was, like just sat there and watched it for like 5 or 10 minutes.
So on the basis, if
I
we
think Hangman's gonna have to.
God, man, I'm just tired of Oxenfree getting shit on.
It's not really getting shit on.
I mean, it's getting skipped over quite a bit. I'm having to fight just to get it as number
either
3.
Hangman or
I get-
Senate. If you're keeping the witness, then I'm okay with losing the Senate. And I think the Tanker Collapse is going to wind up winning.
What I was gonna say is, if you want, so this is something that we would have to kind of establish right now. But if you want to say that the witness moment doesn't count because it's not a singular moment for everybody, I mean, that eliminates us from ever having one of those types of things again. Like, it would have eliminated the trick shot moment.
No. That's not really my argument for
Yeah, it wasn't
cutting
mine
it
either. I
right,
didn't
or
say
not
that's what
allowing
just-
it
Okay,
to win.
that's
right
what it
now.
felt like.
I was just saying,
No.
by seeing that, it becomes a different moment for everybody, and me and Chuck's were far
Or
less
different,
than
right.
you two.
I just don't feel as
Fine.
strongly about the other 3 on the list personally. Like even the Tanker thing, I don't disagree. It was a cool thing, but again, like I guess outside of Hangman, which I don't remember freaking out about, none of the other 3 like had a lasting impact on me.
Yeah.
Like the first.
I mean,
one.
it's my clear cut number 1, and then Senate Committee number 2.
I don't think the witness is going to win this. I really.
I know
don't.
it's not.
Oh no, I'm totally fine with it not winning. I just think it deserves to be on the list. I get that Tanker Collapse has more universal support.
Yeah, and I'm
Then
okay
that's
Well, if
fine.
that's the case, then Oxenfree is going to get.
It's gonna
on the
have to
list.
be.
It's going to get on the list. I'm going to
Okay.
keep it on the list.
Okay.
So
we
you're
don't-
taking
we-
out the
It's the
Senate
Senate
committee's
gotta
Damn,
go.
that sucks, but that's fine.
It does.
It wasn't
suck,
gonna
but
win.
That does
you
sound
got-
really cool.
It doesn't going to win, so that's
It
fine,
was
yeah.
awesome. It was my number 3, and I didn't even play that
I
game.
wish I
Yeah.
had thought to show you that before we started,
It
just so
is
you could have.
fucking-
had
Yeah,
that.
that I would.
I was
would've
watching
liked to have seen that.
YouTube, and I went, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, it's totally.
I was like, "Things escalate."
We
Yeah.
can take both of those off and put the red, white, and blue controller back on.
It's really. It took me like 3
That's just
levels
like the greatest
to
thing I've
realize
ever
it.
heard.
It happens every time you
Yeah,
beat a
we
level.
can go play the first level real fast.
Oh, we're going
after
to at some point.
Kristen just texted me. I got to go upstairs.
Okay.
Okay.
Pull that up.
Vamp
real
on YouTube.
quick. I'm gonna pull that up real quick on YouTube, or you want to do it on yours?
No, not really. I got things going on over here. We also have to keep YouTube entertained. I'm not going to stop this video and post two YouTube videos for day 2.
Awkward and be like, I guess I'm the only one still here.
God damn it!
I'm so happy I was watching that.
I'm glad somebody was.
Now I feel bad about Oxenfree, and I'm going back to see where we fucked it over. I guess on most things because it's not on this list very much. It did best narrative.
Cut like on 4th or 5th. Yeah, I had to fight hard to get it on there.
All right, well, this is meta. We're watching YouTube on YouTube.
Where were you when John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated? I don't remember. At home, I believe. I don't remember. At home, I believe.
What a dick.
A muddy hunt in Vietnam. Slowly dismembering an old
Oh,
cutting her apart bit by bit. And do you know why? Because her son was an NBA officer.
you say an NBA officer?
Only way to make him talk. I don't understand what this has to do. What he told us saved the lives of an entire platoon. That's 42 men. Men that lived another day because I was willing to take a saw to that old woman. Thank you, Mr. Donovan. I believe that now. Just shut the fuck up.
Damn.
Dude, it's so fucking cool.
Oh. No way that would really work.
No.
There's no way you could sit down and shut the fuck up to a senator and he would just do it.
Shit that will haunt me for the rest of my life. But I did it.
How long is this?
Believed in the fight. I believed what this nation stood
Oh, it's
3
a
minutes.
wow.
3 minutes.
Sorry, YouTube.
for. Sitting there ass deep in mud with that old woman scattered all around me. And hearing that the President of the United States had just been fucking murdered. Well,
Are you guys watching Mafia?
Yeah.
right then and there that I couldn't let that stand.
Chuck, do a dance for YouTube to keep them entertained while I watch this.
No matter how long it took. What are you
We can't see you. There it is. There it is.
Sal Marcano?
Show us that butt.
Oh, it's Fortunate Son.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
That is the most absurd thing I have ever
Oh, that is rancid.
Boo-doo.
I don't hold anyone's ambitions against them, Senator. And you certainly were ambitious, weren't you? You went to law school, and then you became a district attorney,
Still holding on to that,
United States Senate.
you know, that style, or like zooming in and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Went through his file. Imagine my surprise when I saw your name over and over and over and over again. The mob wanted Jack Kennedy dead, and you more than willing to help.
Your battery's low,
Everywhere. There's
so you know.
my file.
Shit. Oh, that guy's a fucker.
He was my favorite character in the
He was
game.
Donovan
great.
was great.
Donovan was awesome.
Doo-doo.
I actually didn't care about Lincoln.
Oh,
all
that guy's
much.
the
I just
most
loved
dead.
Donovan.
All right.
And Vito.
It was
Vito
dope.
good. But I had a emotional connection with him from Mafia 2.
Vito?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was part of my problem. It's just I
never played any of Mafia 2, but I still really enjoyed it.
I just couldn't get into it.
I loved it, man.
Seeing stuff like that makes me want to go back and play it. Even though I definitely
What?
fell
See,
off.
that-
on
now
it.
the hold
you
on-
can find like
You
pretty
can
much
probably watch the whole
YouTube
thing as a
story.
movie.
Gotcha.
The Hold On I'm Coming maybe is when you're driving to the casino at the end.
I think that's accurate.
God,
yeah.
it was awesome.
Man, I'm sad you didn't do it, but when you were in that like final shootout in the casino,
Mhm.
and then like I just saw it immediately, I was like, oh, I'm getting in that car.
Yeah,
And, like, there's
that's
like that car
unfortunate.
they're giving away for the jackpot or whatever. I just fucking drove it straight up and hit that ramp and through the glass, jumped out, hit behind it, and just fucking had a. It was awesome.
All right, we good to go?
It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Do you need to hear anything or?
Just
Yeah.
it should just go right into most innovative, shouldn't it?
I don't think I've
I
actually
would
read
think
it.
so.
We can go play the first level real fast. I want to at some point.
Yeah, so just move on to the next word.
Well, so it sounds like we have an agreement here. It's going to be the Tanker Collapse as the winner, with the environmental puzzles, and then Hangman from Oxenfree as the runners-up for best moment of the year. For most innovative, we have The Witness, Super Hot, No Man's Sky, Recore, Quantum Break, Oxenfree, and Dishonored 2.
What?
So-
Cork it on.
I think there's a
don't know.
clear cut here. The Witness can go, right? Though Trey
I
was
mean,
out.
it's my
I
first
will
guess.
say, I will say. So if because this is a short list, if I had to pick 3 right now, it would be Super Hot, Quantum Break, and Oxenfree
That is what
as my 3 like nominees.
most innovative.
Yes, for those are the 3 most innovative.
I think Super Hot, Quantum Break, and also Oxen. Yeah, I'm actually the exact same thing.
I would probably do Super Hot, No Man's Sky, and Quantum Break myself.
Well, you're gonna throw The Witness in innovative, huh? Mine is The Witness, Super Hot, and Oxenfree.
So I didn't think I'd have any backing. The
It's
Witness
just-
for me, like it, the way that
Oh, you
game,
gave up. You
Again,
gave up.
to
Stay
talk
true to
about it-
yourself, Josh.
to talk about it, the way that game does tutorials, the way that it teaches you to play the game
is
is
innovative.
incredibly well done.
I think just the way they presented a puzzle game is.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I mean,
incredibly-
but like literally, you go up to one specific area
One
and you
puzzle
find the
teaches
first
you how
puzzle,
to do the next puzzle
like,
and so on and so
progressively-
forth.
In a world where everything is handheld with video games now, like literally, you could literally just be
There's-
dragged from one moment to the next to learn
besides,
how to play the game.
God, what was it? Damn it! The game that said this game does not hold your hand. It was the.
Oh,
Invention of Ethan
that's
Carter.
it, Ethan Carter.
God, I
okay.
love that game.
There's a puzzle sequence like when you're on the final level or whatever, where it's one of those blocks of like 5 or 6 puzzles in a row, and you beat the first puzzle. It's like super easy. You just have to cover up like one of those black dots when you go from one side to the other, and then the next puzzle has a different thing, and never mind.
It's really
God
hard.
damn it.
It's really hard to explain. I know the
Yeah, I could have explained it. Chuck just pissed me off, so I don't want to anymore.
It's what I do.
Oh man, it bothers
Especially-
me more that I let it bother me,
so I mean, the
and
brilliance,
that I can't do that bullshit to you.
the brilliance in that game as well for me, and like where I think it became so intelligent over other puzzle games is when it starts combining puzzles randomly. Like when you start getting one panel that has 3 different
and
rules
that's
that you
what
have to
this-
follow.
Yeah, that's what that is. But every panel doesn't show the one before. So when you complete the solution for all 6 puzzles is the same.
But you
but
you don't
it's-
necessarily realize that right away, and like yeah, it's
Right.
and it does teaching in a very very cool way.
We've talked plenty about The Witness,
We have talked about it a lot.
and I'm the only person that voted for it, so we can get it for sure. Stay true.
Recore is
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it's going to be Super Hot, Quantum Break, and Oxenfree because I doubt I'm going to get support for No Man's Sky.
No.
Nope. I do.
I think there's.
I
I
think
that the idea of it is really innovative.
I think there's a significant amount of innovation in the way that algorithm worked, and I get that maybe the dinosaurs weren't as pretty as they should have been.
It just didn't work like it was advertised.
If you would have put most innovative on lying to the public, check.
My biggest thing with that is I do think there's some innovation in it, but like the innovation has to work in a way that, at least for me, to get best innovative or most innovative, it needs to like actually come through and work in a positive way in the gameplay. And that game, for me, it did not. Like this idea of there are a bazillion planets, but there's like no real good system up front for like figuring out like what planet's what, or going back to a planet that you visited, or like
That game was just set up for failure.
Man, it's so bare
looking back
bones.
now,
Yeah.
like on it, it was. Just, I don't think it never really had a chance.
Looks like he's got a penis on his arm.
Penis arm. What are y'all's winners for this?
Mine is super hot.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I totally think it's.
I could
super
be
hot.
okay. It would be my number 2, just because Quantum Break put a fucking TV show inside of that, and
That's fair.
their powers were really cool. I had never played a game with that kind of time powers. I don't know if there is one. At least it was innovative to me.
Blinks the time sweeper.
Yeah, you're damn
Is
right.
that
Blinks the time
did you just
sweeper.
make that up?
Nope.
No, there's 2 of them.
Yep.
It's an Xbox exclusive from the original Xbox.
What was that first-person game that came out on the 360? Singularity.
Actually, it gets compared to Singularity. I've heard Singularity brought up a couple
Okay,
times.
within that part, not. But the TV show was like.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a first.
The TV show was also an extension of what they did in Alan Wake. Obviously,
Oh, it wasn't
not on this
anything like
level,
that,
but it
though.
was it
Yeah.
felt like an extension of it.
Somewhat. I mean, you could tell that they would have loved to have done something like that
Yeah,
with Alan Wake.
I mean,
but
they didn't
I
have
don't know
money
that
backing
intent
or
is
yeah.
But
I'm
I
not
am
saying-
qualifier.
I am okay with Super Hot winning. It was. I've never played anything like Super
Yeah,
Hot.
Yeah.
for me, it was
First-person
the
puzzler
most
shooter.
unique experience of the year.
It was awesome.
Oxenfree is just. I've never played anything with that type of dialogue.
Yeah, it definitely did some
choice.
cool stuff with an
Yeah.
adventure game that's never been done before.
But
Cool.
no, Super Hot. I agree. Was that's deserving to win.
Bold, underline, italicized.
Done.
Agreed. All
Super
right.
hot.
Super Hot is the most innovative game of 2016 with Quantum Break and Oxenfree behind it. Best style, also the category we ripped off the most from another podcast, goes Inside, Firewatch, The Witness, Abzu, Bound,
Cut.
Broforce, The Last Guardian, Super Hot, Overwatch, Doom, King's Quest, and Unraveled.
Yeah, I think we can cut The Witness. It is a very pretty game, and I like all the
love
colors.
the aesthetic of that game, and I love the world in general. I'm okay with it being cut. I also think there's a bunch that are pretty easy cuts here.
There are. I just don't want to hear anything more about The Witness.
Broforce.
Broforce is easy cut.
Broforce. is
It's just
easy
a
cut.
retro game.
That style has been done many times already.
I don't think The Last Guardian is that good looking.
I
Am I
I definitely don't think it
crazy?
has any style.
I think it does, but we can cut it. That's fine. It's
I
an
mean,
easier
is
cut.
gray a style? I mean, it's.
Shitty camera is not a style.
Thanks, buddy.
Like that shirt.
Thanks, man. Falcons, go Falcons.
What else?
Everything else is a little bit. Abzu.
I really like the style in Abzu.
I just think it's also the style of all the other That Game Company games.
It probably and it does kind of look very similar to like Rhyme and stuff like that.
I mean,
that's
it's
coming out.
Underwater
Although I'm
Journey.
excited for Rhyme.
Rhyme looks.
I'm
awesome.
buying that on Switch.
I'm thinking about it. I kind of want to platinum that game. Goddamn trophies! If they introduce a fucking stars system or whatever for the Switch, I'll be so happy.
I mean, you don't like achievements. What makes you think you're going to like that better than
If it's
Trophies.
closer to the trophy or to the trophy system.
if you get a platinum something?
yes,
Okay.
if I get a specific like
you don't like
gold
achievements because
star.
I would constantly beat your achievement score.
No, I just think
Also,
that an
diamond
arbitrary number
achievements.
of points is fucking dumb. The diamond thing helped a little bit. I actually care a little bit more.
I can't believe I got a email from Microsoft telling me I was in the top 1% for gamer score for 2016.
That is
Pretty good.
ridiculous.
I was like, holy shit.
I also think you should have gotten something more for that. But yeah.
Doom.
I think the style of Doom is like crazy great. I think the design of the demons updated from a classic version of it to modern day is really great. It's just super pretty. Runs at 60 frames per second.
I just think the achievement and technicality in that game is where it shines, as well as the gameplay loop.
Yeah, I don't know if I would argue for top 3. I think
Yeah, I just think like
Bound should be cut absolutely before it.
I mean, that game's got some style.
It's a bullshit
It's got some style.
game for bullshit people.
So,
I,
so
th-
cut Bound.
I don't think your hatred of a game automatically.
It does.
I think the really cool thing about Doom style is that it took a retro idea and implemented a retroness into a modern first-person shooter,
Yeah, it's not
which was
pixelated.
really
it
cool.
looks-
But it still has that retro feel. Like when you're
Yeah.
pumping the
You know
shotgun,
exactly
it's really
what-
awesome.
Enemy you're looking at from like the old games, and you're
Right.
like, oh, that's what he was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
I would say to cut Doom, Bound, and Unraveled. Unraveled is
Am I cutting Abzu
prettiest?
yet?
I'm not
I don't know
okay
about
with
Unraveled, yeah.
being gone
Really?
at all.
I mean, I'm not saying it's top 3, but I think it's.
Am I
there are
cutting
other-
Abzu? Did I
Yes.
cut
Yes,
that?
cut
Okay.
Abzu.
I'm not okay with
I
Unraveled.
will say
being gone.
Firewatch, however, though,
Ooh.
is not a terribly for style.
No, I think.
Dude, they
I
brought
think-
in like a world famous artist to like hand
That
paint
game
the
is-
levels.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So let's discuss what is the difference, because tomorrow we've got a category for best graphics, and that is
Correct.
where
That's
Unravel
different.
fits more than best style. Unraveled is just a realistic game with a yarn character walking through it. It doesn't have, in my opinion, what fits the style category.
A style is something that makes the game unique by the like just looking at
But
it,
it's-
not necessarily graphics, of course, but like for me, like
It can be art design, it
Inside
can be-
with very like solid lines.
Is definitely on
And that
the
that fits
people
style.
walking in certain ways, that is a style
See,
to
but
me.
Unraveled has that for me. It's the whole game is like you're playing a postcard almost, and you're going
It's
through like postcard backgrounds that are alive, and then you're clearly like standing out in front of it. Yeah, for me,
It does have a style. I don't know if it's one of the top 3 styles or not. But how about King's Quest?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to cut
King's
that.
Quest can go. I think
It's,
it deserves to be mentioned. It's a great little.
I mean, it's a physical representation of a storybook.
I feel like maybe in the future we need to have like best storytelling element or something, because if you look at like you're talking about the
Let's add
postcards.
more words.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
look at the postcards, the
Let's do it now.
storybook thing, the storybook in stories. I said stories a lot there.
Yeah, you did.
Um,
Stories.
the other
Stories.
one that I'm like randomly thinking about that all of a sudden I can't fucking remember. But like, there's been a lot of those types of things this year, and I feel like we're getting more introductions. Fucking the no.
Cool. We just spent money on that pop filter. Don't use it. Don't worry about it.
The TV show. I have a face for fucking cameras, sir. Not
Either
radio.
to
Yes.
you.
All right, I'm done.
Did Josh
talking.
just say he's going to face fuck
Say
a
your
camera?
point, man.
No, I'm done now. Move on.
All right, so we're down to Inside, Firewatch, Super Hot, Overwatch, Unraveled.
I kind of want to cut Overwatch.
Really?
Yeah.
You think?
Top 3s real quick.
My top 3s are the top 3.
Actually,
Yep.
yeah, it's probably not. my top
Inside,
three.
Firewatch, and Super Hot.
It's my top 3 as well.
Mine is Inside, Firewatch, and Unraveled.
Mine's probably Inside, Super Hot, and Overwatch. But
All right, so Overwatch can get cut.
King's Quest didn't get one. It's still in there for me. I apologize.
it's already
Okay.
gone.
I was the only
Unraveled
one.
was the
I was
only
the only
one.
one that voted for Unraveled.
There we go.
So,
that's
Inside,
top 3.
Firewatch, and Super Hot.
yeah,
I think Inside wins this personally.
I might go Firewatch myself, but Inside is right there with it, so I'm okay with that.
I think it's Inside. I think the style of that game helps set the entire tone of the game.
I think the style and the art design of Firewatch set that apart from other walking simulators.
See, I think that Firewatch could have had different art and like just normal regular CG graphics, and I don't think it would have affected like the way that game impacted you or the feel of it. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't beautiful because it was.
The way it was done made it a better game, but it didn't. The style obviously doesn't impact like the actual game.
I think if Inside would have just been a normal CG game, it would have drastically changed the way you felt about that game. That's my argument, anyways.
I'm fine with Inside winning.
Super Hot obviously is just crazy looking.
Super Hot is just bound, but in a game Evan likes.
Super Hot has to me the most original style out of any of these things.
That's fair.
you shoot yourself.
It's not a style element. God damn it.
You do it very stylishly.
You
I
really
just-
do.
You fuckers.
I'm just saying.
Inside?
I guess that's not my vote, but I'm going to get outvoted.
I mean, mine's Firewatch, but I'm probably closer to Inside as being right there with it, like almost 1-1.
I think Inside's actually my third place here. But
Really?
That
Interesting.
surprises me.
Yeah.
Firewatch would be mine.
Firewatch is
Third.
number 1. Super Hot's my number 2 because Super Hot was just so incredibly like different than any other thing that I played, maybe ever, as far as that particular style. I mean, you shoot them, and
the most innovative.
I
game
almost
of
made the joke, but I didn't want to poke the fucking bear.
but
You
I don't know, just shooting those guys and them falling to pieces like glass was really
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I
It
think
was
it's got
cool
great
style.
style.
It was cool.
But yeah, I mean, I'm also okay with Inside because I'm a, what's that studio that does that?
Play Dead?
Playdead. Yeah, I'm a huge Playdead fan,
Studio.
and this is obviously
I'm excited for
Limbo
the next
kind
game
of.
in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. So best style goes to Inside with Firewatch and Super Hot behind it.
Hot.
Super
Most surprising
hot.
game: The Witness, Firewatch, Inside, FIFA 17,
No, god damn it.
Battlefield 1, Forza Horizon 3, NBA 2K17, Overwatch, Super Hot, Oxenfree, Pokemon Go, Telltale's Batman with an extra
Telltale
T.
T.
The Telltale's Batman.
The extra T is for talent.
King's Quest, Doom, Hitman, and Titanfall 2. That's a lot of nominees.
So,
So
we,
FIFA.
we make this clear every year, but hopefully there are some new folks watching this year. So to be clear, this is basically measuring the gap between expectation and reality. So the games that we were the most down on initially that ended up being some of our favorite.
I don't think we ever made that exclusive because like a game
We
that
have
just-
always made that a distinction.
It's always been a major factor for us.
a major factor. I don't remember it being ever
disappointing is
exclusive.
always the exact opposite.
Well,
Trey's correct.
if that's how we're doing it, then I mean you can easily cut The Witness because I thought that game
Yeah,
was
you were-
all right.
You were
It looked cool, but I didn't have like insane expectations about it, which is why it fit surprising for me.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have called it as a top 5 game of the year early on, but I mean, I definitely also was pretty intrigued. And it was getting a lot of good buzz. And
By that same tone, Firewatch would not be on this list. Nor
Correct.
Inside.
I agree that I
No,
agree
Inside is not a surprising game to me.
Firewatch
Yeah, I
and
would-
Insider Cut. I
yes.
agree with that.
I am not letting go of FIFA yet on this one.
What? It's FIFA.
It's really
me
weird whenever
personally,
you
I've
get-
never ever gotten to a sports game ever, and I put in 20 hours into the sports game.
It's really weird
not saying
whenever
it
you
should be on
started
there,
playing FIFA and then you got into a Camaro and it turned into a first-person shooter. That was really surprising.
It was a Ford Mustang.
still
Oh,
FIFA.
my bad.
You're thinking of Forza Horizon 3.
It's still FIFA with just an improved version of what NBA's been doing for a long time.
But it was one that I actually cared about without without stereotypical
But it
writing.
wasn't doing anything
without.
different. I mean,
I mean, this isn't most innovative. This is something that I
know, but
wasn't
God,
expecting.
FIFA for surprising game.
to be fair, you're almost making the point of, like, we should have just expected another FIFA from
and
another
you
year.
got that,
But
basically.
to Josh and I don't know that we did. Like, I certainly, I mean, with
have you-
Josh, he's played previous ones.
I was gonna say,
and
have
I've
you
been-
played FIFA?
And I
But for me,
enjoyed-
I've
we've
never
played
played-
before, and I've enjoyed it.
I don't play sports games. Like, I literally give you guys my sports games every year.
It's true.
And this is the one year that
I
I put
buy them.
quality time
I mean, I bought mine
into into sports games.
How's your handle?
How's my handle?
Yep, you're all in on the sports games, aren't you? A handle is dribbling with soccer ball
Oh yeah.
or basketball.
In the 20 hours of trading I did,
that kind of made
term
his
never came
point,
up.
though. He's not a
Man.
sports game player.
There-
I'm not saying it's top 3, but I think
why
there
don't
are
we put
other
a pin
cuts.
in it
Yes.
and go on to some other much easier cuts.
Battlefield is an easy cut. I thought that trailer looked cool. I fucking
there was
love
a
that
lot
game.
of hype going into
That
that.
it had a lot of hype.
Forza.
Yeah, no, clearly not a surprise for me. I
Not
think
for
that's
you.
for Josh.
It is
but-
for me because I was almost as upset as you that Forza was on the list 2 years ago.
I mean, I was too, but that's just because it's still, no matter what it boils down to, like FIFA, it's a racing game.
I also was not like you guys who I didn't think that trailer from E3 looked great. I'm fine with cutting it. Personally, I would not cut FIFA over there, but I'm fine with cutting Forza.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be cut. Just
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Overwatch wouldn't fit this.
I
list.
disagree. I didn't know what the hell that was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a lot like Battleborn, and it turned out
We
to
were
be
all like,
Except for me, which is weird because I'm the one who likes.
I think
it
we
the
were
least.
more excited for Battleborn than we were for Overwatch.
I know I was.
You
Well,
were.
yeah, no.
Then
You
I
were
played that beta and it
ridiculous.
sucked, and Trey got mad.
And
Give it
then,
a chance.
I did. It sucked.
yeah, that game
Here
was
the,
not fun.
the instructions. Bullshit.
No, Overwatch to me.
I think that's another one we
classifies
put a
as
pin
that.
in.
NBA, you can probably cut, even though I just it was a surprise
much as
because
you hated
it was
last
a
year.
return to form for them. So that was good on them. But you can cut it. It's still NBA.
Super hot. I remember being excited for that game. I remember
Oh,
Evan, like,
I counted
constantly
down.
wanting.
I
yeah.
checked every week trying to find it because I was excited for
See,
it.
this is running into my concern about this like hard fast rule about it being games that we had low expectations. We didn't have low expectations for Pokemon Go, Batman, King's Quest, Doom.
Which
Doom
would
I
make
can
them
see a
not
little bit more.
surprising.
But I'm saying, like,
How
what,
do you
what is-
define that
What is
category?
on this list then? Games that came out of nowhere. Games that, like, I'm saying that yes,
I think
what we
Hitman fits that
expected-
category. I think Doom fits that category.
Titanfall 2, everyone thought they just threw a story mode in there just to appease people. I think it's surprising how good it is.
That fits my definition of this.
Well, I think we can have multiple categories. I mean,
That's what I'm saying,
multiple
like,
definitions. I'm
that's
not
what-
saying yours doesn't count.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying
I just don't
that,
know.
like-
I guess my question is, if you're not, what definition are you using? If not, like, this is, I was not excited for this game, and it turns out I really liked it. That was a surprise.
not excited, but you made it sound like expectation of like oh, we don't think this look. You like specifically said like we don't think this looks good, and then we played it.
Well,
and really
I'm
liked
just
it.
saying the biggest gap there. So if
Yes,
you were,
it's all about the biggest gap. Maybe you were
you were
kind of
excited that
excited
it's your
about
game
it,
of the
or
year,
you wanted to play
that's
it.
still a giant gap.
You're right.
But I mean, how else do you measure that if not the space between those, your initial
And
expectation
even with
and
like
your
our
initial...
Titanfall argument, you can kind of put it into that argument as well.
I mean, a game that literally comes out of nowhere that I had no idea about, such as fucking Super Hot. I really didn't hear much about it until I started playing it.
and that's what I'm saying. But I think
But like that's
everyone else was literally counting down the
guess
days,
what
and then we
killed-
ended up loving
I guess
it. That's
what
not
killed
that
me
surprising.
on that is like last year when we did our games preview for the year, like I did like a day's worth of research into every indie game coming out, and like none of these games did I not know about or know exactly what they were. And then some of them I thought would suck and turned out to be good and stuff. That's I guess where my difference is. I knew about all these games.
and like I mean,
So Pokemon Go, we can cut.
yeah, it surprised me that it was released when it did because literally I had no idea.
Oh, I mean, for me, it was a
when I
surprise.
was at Mary's house and I don't have any service there. So like as I left, I was like, oh, that Pokemon Go game I remember about was like it launched, and all of a sudden it was the biggest thing in the world, and I had missed it for 3 days.
It was crazy how big it got there for a little bit. And for me, it was a surprise because, like I said, I still played every day, and like I've never played a mobile game longer than like a few weeks ever in my life. But I know that's obviously I'm the only one there.
Good NBA on there.
Okay.
Batman.
That one doesn't fit for me personally.
I think
was
the story was surprising.
It was.
I thought it was surprising that
It's
you
just-
liked it. It was a
it-
Batman game that you liked.
I mean, so I was
I think
expecting
he was
to
the
be down
biggest
on
fan
it.
of Arkham Knight, by the way.
Yeah, I was. But I typically don't like the character. And
I
with
know you don't.
Telltale, it's not. There's no awesome combat to like
Yeah,
sustain it. It's
and
it's
Telltale
all
can
on
be
the
hit or
character.
miss.
For me, that's the thing. That's why I would argue against it not being on this list, because for me, Telltale is not hit or miss. Outside of Michonne, I have
I'm with
never
you.
played a Telltale game that I didn't fucking love. So if anyone was going to create a Batman story that I loved, it was probably Telltale.
So we cut that then.
I'm okay.
I
been-
personally would be okay with that.
It's been cut.
Okay.
So what do we have left for those of us without the benefit of immediate updates?
FIFA somehow. Overwatch, Super Hot, Oxenfree, King's Quest, Doom, Hitman, Titanfall 2.
King's Quest was not surprising for me.
It was, and that could probably cut it for that fact. I had never played King's Quest ever in my life, so it was more of a surprise for me because it was a fucking delight.
Question:
Yes.
What is King's Quest?
Bringing it back.
Well done. Well done. But we can probably cut that. But well done.
So we are now down to FIFA, which you can go ahead.
We should cut FIFA.
Fine.
It's a sports game.
I just remember
Unless you
That,
start playing.
that to me, that is the sole reason.
if
it
you
should be on
start
this
playing
list,
soccer
but-
on the moon, sure, then it's.
I also remember our reaction to EA's press conference over the last 2 years and the focus they put on FIFA, despite it being among the highest selling games every single year.
it would be
And
my
then
number
how
one
much
on this list.
it's kind of my number one too.
You got. Oh my god! It's still soccer. I mean, for the,
but you're not. That's
but
not
no,
the
no, no,
point.
For the same reason, I just said he's not surprised by King's Quest at all, but I was. But I still said he could cut it.
Right, and I get that, but I mean, like, even Titanfall 2, like, it's not like shooters have had good campaigns for many years.
That was
doesn't-
universally considered a surprise that it had.
It
a
was such
good
a good campaign. You're right, and I mean, okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's cut.
Is it? You guys sound pretty passionate about it.
I mean, again,
Like I think it's crazy. I'm not saying I control the cuts or anything, but I
get
think
that.
because it's a sports game.
Well, let's do this then.
Again, but
What
that's
would be the three
why.
that you would have
it's the
outside
same thing
of
as
that?
the year before with
But
a
I don't
slightly
like
better
that
story.
every year. I don't like that, and this year the addition of the story mode made me want to get. I sit there and played match after match of a fucking soccer game. I've never done that.
But they've had
in
that
32
before.
years of
This one,
gaming.
the story was just slightly better.
How's-
They've never had a story mode.
How's
in
your
FIFA.
how's your handle?
I don't know. God damn it! That doesn't
You've
mean
never
anything.
had a character named like that. You've had basically a story mode where you start off a player and you continue through his
With, like,
career.
Okay, I mean, again, I don't know because I've never played.
I mean,
but-
following the career, yes, with the cutscenes and the
Yeah,
devotion to the
they
character
added
you haven't
cutscenes,
had.
and so that I mean that's what was added to this. And then again, it's just a really well done soccer game. That's my argument to it.
What would be the three you guys would have outside of FIFA to see if it's worth having this argument? Because I'm on Trey's side, obviously. I'm the one to put it on here, so
Hitman, Titanfall 2, and probably Oxenfree because I just really didn't know what that game was going to be or that I would love it.
I thought it looked like sort of a Japanese style anime game that I wouldn't enjoy at all.
Yeah,
That's definitely on my list. Mine's Oxenfree, Doom, and probably Overwatch.
So mine, you said outside of FIFA, right?
Yeah.
So mine would be
So cut FIFA.
Not yet.
mine would be Oxenfree, Overwatch, and Hitman. I know I didn't play that, but I think just again
the success is a surprise.
Yes.
That succeeded in what it did as a surprise.
Yeah, the success and the arguments made today and yesterday.
and it's also a surprise that I loved Absolution with every fiber of my being and haven't played this Hitman game.
Yeah, for me it would be Hitman, Doom, and Titanfall.
Which one of those games have you played?
Doom.
He did play a little bit of Doom.
I owned it.
Did you?
I did. I bought it.
I remember you playing like half a level and then giving me the controller. And then I played
And then
the
I
rest
owned
of
it at my house, and then I
Uh-huh.
sold it about a week later.
He called him at home.
Again, it would be surprised for me.
So-
I mean,
It sounds like Oxenfree is probably on this
it
list.
sounds like Oxenfree's on this list. It sounds.
I
Like
knew it was
Hitman's on
an
this
adventure
list.
game, but I was not anticipating. What
Oh
it was.
man, there was not like the whole
When the Rift happened, I was like,
the
"What?"
Rift and then ghosts and shit. Like I was like, what the fuck is happening
Also,
right now?
never
Also, it's one of the
forget-
first times I ever beat a game before anyone else at this table.
Never forget when you turn through those frequencies and you hear random like beeping, and it turns out if you can translate Morse code, it turns into people talking to you from the other side of the Rift. It's the shit.
Did everyone beat that in one sitting?
Yes.
I don't think it was one sitting for me. I think I started it too
It's
late.
one of the few games this year I've beaten in one sitting.
So Oxenfree, Hitman, and FIFA. Let's do this.
I would say I'm probably equally surprised by Overwatch and FIFA. Sorry, Josh.
Overwatch doesn't seem to fit. I would rather cut both of those.
Talk about first-person competitive shooters are on the same level as sports games in terms of shit I don't fucking touch. And I technically have put in more hours into Overwatch.
I feel, me personally, I feel better with Oxenfree, Doom, and Hitman, even though I didn't like Oxenfree myself. That
Doom
would be
was
my
a pretty
vote.
big surprise.
Doom is a huge surprise.
It was a massive surprise.
It had no right being good. That would be been
Despite-
my
I mean,
fourth
and
on
we
the
thought
list.
the-
no, you have to go bigger than massive. He went big, you went huge. I went massive. So
Glorious.
Ginormous.
Glorious.
survey says, hey, you did it!
That's what-
Yay!
That's what I said.
Like Bobby
FIFA.
Roode.
Glorious.
Thank you.
All right, so FIFA's gone.
I mean, does that theory sound fair for everybody?
What was
What-
the
what-
three?
Oxenfree, Doom, and Hitman? I don't like. I'm not trying to.
I would be
control,
okay with that.
but
Yeah, I
I
can be
feel
okay
like it's
with
the
that.
three that we could all agree on the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me personally, Overwatch and FIFA would be higher up, but I totally know that
Titanfall
just
2, the
universally-
campaign. Now we knew that the shooting
multiplayer
aspect
was gonna be
Yeah,
good.
we knew that was going to be great.
And I'm not saying we did, but looking back on it, we should have known, given the people working on that game who created Modern Warfare, like
Would have a good
we should
story.
have known the story was going to be great.
When they
I
actually
get that none of us
implemented
did,
one.
but we should have in hindsight.
I actually think that story is better than any of the Modern Warfare
That is
stories.
correct.
Like as a standalone, the whole Modern Warfare story together, which also is about the exact same time as the singular Titanfall 2 campaign. But
Yeah,
My vote for winning this, again, all of this is second hand for me, I guess, is Doom.
Oxenfree for me.
personally, Oxenfree, but I'm actually kind of okay letting Evan have a heavier vote on this, only because he's the only one who played all three of these to completion.
Like the climax.
Doom is surprising in the fact that it did turn out to be good, but after Bethesda at E3, I was like, that shit looks amazing. And it was. Maybe
Okay.
I was just more surprised that they followed through in it being amazing.
If you just want Oxenfree to win one, you can say Oxenfree.
It's close between it and Hitman, but I'd say it's probably Oxenfree, just because I didn't know what that game was, and then I was like, oh shit!
None of us did. Yeah,
I knew that there was something to do with dialogue and that it was getting some critical praise. and
Yeah,
that
I had
was-
heard that like when you have to choose dialogue, it goes rather quickly because it wants to simulate a real conversation. But all the shit with like the ghosts and like the shit from the other side and interacting with other players, all that shit was out of left field.
Cool. So the most surprising game, Chuck, you okay with that, by the way? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
He already.
I mean, that was my vote.
He voted
He already
for
bolded
Oxenfree.
it.
I missed it. My bad. Most surprising game goes to Oxenfree with Doom and Hitman and FIFA as the runners-up. Most disappointing game is going to be the last category of the day. We have No Man's Sky, Bound, The Division, Quantum Break, Far Cry Primal, Mafia 3, Virginia, The Walking Dead Michonne, Riggs, Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
The not talked about much Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Does that kind of make it the winner of this category?
Oh, I don't know. It feels
We
like it was
forgot
middle of
about
the
that
road all the
fucking
way.
It is the most meh game of meh games of all time. It is so monotonous. There should not have been a
Would you
Mirror's
say
Edge
it's
sequel.
monotonous?
Yes, I would.
Creating words, folks. Right here on the Free for All
All
podcast.
right, so
Your source for all things word creation.
Man, this is another easy one for me.
is it this
Yeah.
one? Every time I think about wanting to suggest something to cut, I think about how much.
I mean, Mafia. I mean, it might have
I'm with
disappointed
you.
some
It's
people,
top
but
10
it
for
wasn't.
me.
It was me and Trey on that. Both both you guys got
Yeah.
me like really
It-
hyped up
I
on
will-
that.
How
So
much
I
I
will
love
say
Mafia
this.
2, and I like spent the $150 on the collector's edition, even though like I was supposed to get that game for free from work. I still spent the
The-
money on the
The
collector's. Like
E3 thing
I
was
was
really cool.
fucking hyped, and
On-
I just bailed out hard. But I get that you guys like
Yeah,
it, so I'm cool with
Yeah,
it.
I know both of y'all love that. I just don't. I personally was very disappointed by
So
it.
what I can see on your guys' argument, and we can cut it after this, there was an absolute hump in that game. Like I had to kind of get over that about 3 to 4 hours into that game, and then once I got more,
15 hours.
I
in
know,
it.
but like once I got more into that loop, and I started just doing like really just the story missions, that's when I started falling like absolutely in love with that game. So I can see where somebody would
I
say
should have
that.
powered through the main story more than I did.
Yeah.
I let the other
Yeah.
stuff distract me, and I was like,
you
"Oh,
you
I'm
need to
tired of
learn to
doing
just let
this.
an open world be an open world sometimes. It's really hard to do, trust me. But I actually could have.
Quantum Break, I think, for the same reasons, probably could come off this list.
That was my own personal.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally. That you weren't the only person that I've heard of that didn't like that game.
No,
or
no,
was
certainly
disappointed.
not. But 3 of us here like
yeah,
that
no,
game.
it's fine. It's fine.
Probably Riggs. Even I'm the only one.
It's not like we
I don't
were
know that you
beating
had, like,
down the
super
door,
high.
like, oh my
outside
god.
of Batman, that was my most excited for VR. I was like,
Okay,
I'm gonna get to play a sports game, which I love
in VR
In VR, this is gonna be the shit.
with robots.
Nope.
Is that what that game is? I don't even know what that game is.
It's
Yeah,
it's an
you're-
esports like mech soccer
Arena.
game or
Yeah, it's
something,
like yeah, it's off. Man.
it's like
It's
weird
like robot
basketball
soccer.
with the one goal in the middle.
and you can shoot each other. It looks so fucking like broed out, awesome, and it's just not. It's a bunch of people walking around trying to go in. I'm not going the way I'm supposed to. It's awful.
Are we cutting Mirror's Edge?
I think so.
We can. I mean, I thought it was if there's a spot to list Mirror's Edge on the entire award show, it
It's
is
probably-
a disappointing game. I was excited for that. I played that beta and I thought it was really cool. Turns out after the beta, you have to play it all again because it's just the first 3 hours of the game, and then you're like, I'm really tired of playing this game.
So for me, there's only two like clear choices here for myself personally:
They are.
No Man's Sky and The Division.
The top 3 are easily my top 3. Although Walking Dead Michonne kind of has a shot.
I'm cutting Virginia. I wasn't incredibly
I
excited
told you
for
guys
that
about
game.
this, and I said from the beginning, I was like, I need to know what happened, and I like it pretty well. I don't think it's awesome.
I mean,
You
the
say
only
suckiest
reason
and disappointingest game.
What I
Then
sold
we
you
can-
guys on was music, and I don't think that was a letdown at all.
No, yeah, the music is great. That's fine. We can cut it. That game sucks, by the way, for the world to know. That game
Far
sucks.
Cry Primal needs
Yes.
to be on this list.
I am with
Surprising,
Chuck.
man. You guys are the only two that I've spoken to.
That don't like
it
it.
looked
Yeah.
boring to me.
I've
I
literally
canceled
never
the-
talked to a person who enjoyed.
I
That
canceled
game.
a pre-order because, like, right when it started coming, I was like, I think this game's gonna suck, and then
It doesn't suck. It really doesn't
it
suck.
just looks boring.
It
it's
is boring.
not. It doesn't hook you quick enough. Is really what it is. And it had like a novel idea as far as innovation and going back in time. But Far Cry is such a like over the top. Not just exploration, but action, like these huge pieces and stuff like that. And you can't do that with throwing spears and
Yeah.
Considering how much you love the Far Cry series, like that kind of makes it okay for
It-
me to be
it
on
took-
the list. The fact that he is
That's fine.
disappointed by that.
Especially if it's overbound.
No,
I think it's
No!
over the Division.
I disagree.
No,
again,
the division's on the list.
Man, okay. I still argue that all of us fucking loved that game for the first time.
But then
I
one
agree.
reason-
Maybe if you guys said the Division like DLC or the Division
The season pass
Dark
or-
Zone or
Let me
Go ahead.
speak on that. I liked it for a little bit. You're right, and I was so looking forward to that being a year-long game for me. For how many years did E3 did we look forward to that?
Like,
the Division was my
It was my
number
background
one-
on my computer for 3
It
years.
is disappointing that we all stopped playing.
it was my number one game, like most of E3 4 years ago or whatever it was. I was like, oh, that map's so cool, and the map is cool. And the bad part is I didn't expect the map to be the coolest part of that game for me. The support for it was bad. That's a game that you're supposed to play for a long time, and it gave me no incentive to.
Yeah. And it went the Pokemon Go route. Like, it sounds like now they've fixed a lot of stuff, and like they fixed a lot of the wrongs that they
Yeah, they
did
didn't
with
even
the
do
first
it with
couple
the
of
first
patches.
DLC. The first DLC is they should give people money back. It's they lied, and it is broken, and it's not. Man, it's
That's
bad.
what I'm saying. I don't think any of it is now, but it was when it came out. Yeah.
I always got the dollar amount wrong on this. Did I spend $40 or $50 on the?
Season pass
Yeah.
40.
40.
I spent $40 and touched 0% of that content.
Right. I just think that the season pass is a different discussion than the game.
But like
Personally.
the game did not have
The
me
game,
as
you liked
invested.
the game enough that you spent $40 on the season pass.
I bought the season pass before the game came out.
Okay, I liked the game enough. I spent $40 on the season pass afterwards because we all liked it enough. I bought it because you
I
guys
was-
said that you liked it enough. We were going to keep playing it.
I was told I had to do it to play the quote unquote raid.
Man, the
and you
raid.
didn't, and that raid is the biggest.
That's
piece of
the raid specifically might be the most disappointing.
So
I'm
Okay, that's
you
fair.
know what? So he can keep Far Cry, and I think the Division does belong in here. I thought Bound looked cool, but there was always a chance it was going to suck.
yeah,
It's
I
an
was going
indie
to say
game,
Bound
there's
seems
a
like the
chance.
cut
That's-
then.
that's what
I'm
I feel
okay
like.
with
and
Bound.
it was
Also, by the way, you guys got what we like to call Conan when Evan told you he wanted to speak on this. I just wanted you to know.
yeah, and Bound, like we got excited for that game
Give
like
me a
the week
second.
before
I
it
was
came
thinking of
out
the
because we
Barbarian
saw
game.
the trailer. Like it was a late trailer
No,
before
I'm
the
okay.
game.
Yeah, like I
did
said,
that.
I'm okay cutting it.
I think the winner here is
No
fucking
Man's Sky.
easy. Yeah.
It's No Man's Sky.
I mean,
Not
Chuck,
for me. It's
Chuck
not.
always thought
I
that game was going
called
to
the
suck.
shit out of this.
I think overall, though, like I was pretty stoked for No Man's Sky.
I was really excited.
I
for
always-
But you played the shit out of this.
I
game.
always said I was worried about No Man's Sky. Considering you're right, I did like Division for a little while, and then it just never became what I thought it was going to be for me this year. And
Dude.
for me, it's my most disappointing game. Even if I liked aspects of it, it was still my most
Yeah,
disappointing game. Of
I
the
just
year.
had too much fun with it to say I was
the
disappointed.
funnest
in it.
moment I had was that one night with me and you doing something we
I
weren't.
mean, that was
supposed to be
definitely my
doing.
most
Yeah.
fun moment. But like, I mean, even like by myself, I would play that game, and like I enjoyed
Like,
the weapon system and
But
like,
playing with friends, like the way they did it, like because everybody was different levels, so I'd go with them, and I could do literally no damage, so I'd have to let Josh or Eric, who had put much more time into it, and I just sit
yeah,
there.
that's
I was like,
definitely that's an issue with that style of game.
yeah, which I don't. I've
Unfortunately.
decided I don't like that style of game. Like,
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you on that.
I'm not gonna buy another game like that.
My expectations will
That
certainly
was
be tempered
that
at
game
least.
is Destiny with way worse in-game
Yeah.
content.
I mean, my personal biggest disappointment is probably Far Cry.
I mean, to me, it's not even close. And like,
No Man's Sky is a close second. I was really hopeful that game would be something like great, and clearly it was the exact
we were
fucking
very
opposite.
much
so
not.
excited
I
when we
always
saw
said No Man's
that
Sky
Far
had
Cry
a
Primal
chance.
trailer.
I
Like
agree.
as soon as we
For
saw
the
that,
world,
it was
it's
over
the
here,
most
and we were just like,
disappointing
"Oh shit!" And
I-
like that
I
week,
think
I
it's
went
in
out
there.
and pre-ordered
My
that
number
game.
one is actually not on this list.
what was yours?
Last Guardian. I forgot to add it.
Really? I thought you liked that game.
I tried to.
Which you
convince
can like.
myself.
It's a bad game, dude. It's a bad game.
There are aspects of that game that I adore.
The issue
And
with
then
that though is that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
it's
off,
okay.
but
It's
there-
not just the controls though.
outside of you, I don't think anyone else thought that game was going to be any good.
No,
And then
no.
it turned out it wasn't any
Last
good.
Garden?
Yeah.
But people were
A lot of
freaking
people-
I'm talking about
out
at this
of
And
it.
table.
a lot of
I'm talking
people.
about
this
I
table.
was gonna say because
Okay.
a lot of people still really like that game, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that would actually be.
I
my
refuse
number
to
one.
believe that anyone actually likes that game.
I refuse to believe it exists.
I think-
I played it and I still don't think.
I
it came
think
out.
that so many people built it up for so long that they cannot admit to themselves that it's not
That's
a very
also
good game.
kind of why I would vote No Man's Sky because I'm starting to feel like I maybe did that for the first 80 hours I played that game. That I
Jesus
was
Christ,
so
man.
dedicated into liking that game that I just said I did. I mean, I don't know. There are parts of those games. There are parts of all these games. Like the loop of the Division isn't the worst thing in the world,
I
but
will
the support of
argue-
the Division I don't like, and like the overall game I don't like. If you guys want to go Far Cry, it sounds like it's got two number ones. That makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah, it's because the Division is the only one of those three that for me that had a part that I really liked. Like I kept the Far Cry to me was almost what you guys are talking about. Like for about the probably I guess 10 or 12 hours I put into it.
'Cause you played it a lot.
I put about 12 hours, maybe 15 even into it. I don't remember exactly now. It's been February, but so a year ago. But like,
That's crazy.
yeah, it really is. But no, I think I constantly played that game going like, you have to like this. Like, it's Far Cry. You're supposed to fucking like this.
There's no grenade. Well, there was kind of a grenades, but it was like a bee's
beehive.
nest.
It sucked.
Off topic. I'm sorry. Do you see where I think that Wildlands reminds me of Far Cry a
It
little
totally
bit?
does.
Oh, you mean like the
I
regular Far
wouldn't
Cry?
know.
Yeah, like Far
Yes.
Cry 4, Clear in the World. And
I'm
stuff.
mad about
That's
it.
why I think Trey's gonna really.
I want
love
my
that game.
goddamn guaranteed beta code.
I think you're gonna love that game,
Dude, that game.
I
is-
hope.
that game sneaky could be like our best multiplayer of the year. I can't fucking wait for the full release of that game. All right, let's lock it in. Last category of the day: Far Cry Primal is the most disappointing game of
Surprised me.
2016.
But I get it.
Did me a little bit too, but
Yeah,
I
with-
totally agree now that we've talked about it.
No Man's Sky and The Division behind it. Quick recap before we move on and go sleep for day 3 tomorrow.
Take two.
We've got Best Hero, King Graham from King's Quest with Nathan Drake and BT from Titanfall 2. Best Villain is Sam from Uncharted 4 with
That's so awesome.
Harvey Dent from Batman and Olivia Pierce from Doom.
I'm so happy I got that.
Best Digital is Inside with The Witness and Hitman behind it. Best Moment is the tanker collapse from Quantum Break with Hangman from Oxenfree and solving the environmental puzzle from The Witness. Most Innovative is Super Hot with Quantum Break and Oxenfree. Best Style is Inside with Firewatch and Super Hot behind it. And Most Surprising Game is Oxenfree with Doom and Hitman behind it.
And most disappointing game.
We just said at the beginning.
Hey Trey.
Yeah.
How's your handle?
It's good.
Goddamn
It's
shit.
excellent now that I know what it is.
Motherfucker shit.
Hey, don't forget, guys, when we come tomorrow, make sure you all wear the exact same clothes. Just for
Okay.
consistency's sake.
What's good that I'm not wearing underwear then?
Yeah.
Anybody else not going commando?
I live my life commando.
That's not true.
I like for my boys to have a house.
Do you do the tidy whities?
Stop recording!
No, no.
Boxer briefs.
Oh yeah, boxer
We'll
briefs
see you
are the way to
tomorrow.
go.
So
When you
because,
get
like,
over 30, you wear boxer briefs.
I've converted. I was 31, but I converted.
Okay,
I
that's
was a year
good.
late.
See, I don't like the having everything just squished.
The
and-
boxer briefs? They're the
No,
fucking-
and tidy whities just squished and just
Yeah,
like
box-
you get like a mash of just.
Boxer briefs
yeah.
are the choice of an
When
When you take
adult.
those things
No,
off, you gotta
you
like untangle
goddamn
shit. It's
animal.
Oh
bad.
yeah,
Boxer briefs are the worst.
No.
You need to grow up, Josh. You need to start wearing boxer briefs.
I don't want to feel like I'm tying off for fucking heroin shots in my leg every time I fucking wear them. They're
Get bigger-
uncomfortable.
get bigger
Okay.
Are you
sizes.
buying smalls?
I was
They're
gonna say-
uncomfortable. First of all, you guys are not dealing with the same fucking problem I am with the stupid surgery that I've had. Unfortunately, my legs are significantly larger than my waist size, so there's
are you
Pants-
boxers? Is that
buying
what you do?
pants- yes,
Boxers? Okay.
because I'm a goddamn human being who likes comfort.
Just
See
don't-
you tomorrow.
That doesn't make any sense. Then just don't wear anything.
Bye.